is shining. So glad that you're here for the Oilers Plus Live pregame show, because you know what else is here in Oil Country? The Stanley Cup Final. Are you guys ready or what? My goodness, Game 3 action. Thanks so much for being here. I'm Paige Martin, joined by my good friend and everybody's good friend, Mr. Cam Moon. All things Game 3 here in Oil Country.
Your choice. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, the game doesn't stop for injury. MIC's sports medicine imaging specialists can help you get back in the game with a timely and expert diagnosis. Go where the pros go. For a location near you, visit mic.ca.
Athletes know that to advance your career, you've got to be part of a winning team. So, what about you? Are you working for a winning team? Well, here's your chance to do just that. Brandt is a strong and stable industry leader with career opportunities across Canada. We have hundreds of positions available right now, from parts, sales, positioning technology, heavy-duty mechanics, and more. Be a part of a winning team. Earn your stripes by joining Brandt today. Find out more at brandtjobs.com.
This is Rogers Game Night on the Oilers Radio Network.
They're playing really well. They're playing aggressive, in your face. With that being said, when there are mistakes, there's chances. I feel like a team as aggressive as they are, they do a great job of limiting your chances, and then there's one mistake and there's you can find yourself in a grade A really fast, and you have to be ready for that, and you have to be prepared. It goes from not much going on to suddenly a good chance, and as I said, you got to be ready for that. You got to bury it. Bobrovsky's playing well as well. It's about being ready for your opportunity and making the most of it.
That's Connor McDavid of the Edmonton Oilers. Welcome back. Rogers Game Night. Legacy Heating and Cooling. Home and no payments and no interest for a year. Legacy Heating and Cooling. Who's hot and who's not? Oilers power play's got to get better. Got to put pucks to the net. 0 for 7 in the series. It's been the best power play in the last 5 years in any 5-year run in NHL history. The Oilers, this is Oil Country Playoffs 50-50, is live for the Stanley Cup Final. The jackpot is currently sitting at $4.3 million in climbing fast. Buy your tickets now to be eligible to win for tonight's early bird prizes at 7:30 p.m. for $5,000 cash from Safeway and 8 p.m. for a Ford Maverick. Tonight's Oilers 50-50 is in support of the Edmonton Oilers Community Foundation, supporting Albertans battling cancer, kids with critical illness, animal shelters, food security, and military personnel, and much, much more. It's the only game that matters tonight. The out-of-town scoreboard brought to you all season long by Pizza 73, the official pizza of the Edmonton Oilers. It is Game 3 of the Stanley Cup Final on the Oilers Radio Network.
Look, I know this is radio, so it's hard to show you how much is on sale during the Big One clearance event at End of the Row Flooring Centers, but it's a lot. Like this flooring, or this one, and all these. Yep, all at clearance pricing for a limited time. Now, you don't need to just imagine what it would look like, though. You can use our visualizer at endoftheroll.com to upload a picture of your room to see the flooring in your actual home. Try it. Find something you love, then get a great deal on it at the Big One clearance event on now at End of the Roll Flooring Centers. Let's get flooring.
Chemco is building industry across Canada, and now they're on the lookout for civil and electrical project managers, estimators, and superintendents to join their dedicated team. Why Chemco? Because Chemco cares. They put people first, offering top-tier compensation packages and an unwavering commitment to safety. At Chemco, safety isn't just a priority, it's everybody's business. Ready to be part of a team that truly values you? Visit chemco.com/careers today.
You're listening to Rogers Game Night on the official voice of the Edmonton Oilers, 630 CHAN, and on the Oilers Radio Network.
Welcome back, everybody. Bob Stauffer, along with Chuck Michaels, Rob Brown, Reed Wilkins, Brendan S. Scott, Cam Moon, the Oilers Radio Network. We bring a border inside the game analyst. Rob Brown, what do you expect from the fans tonight, Rob?
Well, I've already seen it. I was outside at the concert. I was walking around the block outside the arena. This place is nuts. The Oilers, if the Oilers could somehow score a goal in the first 5-6 minutes of this game, this place would be absolutely bedlam. The roof would come off, and the Florida Panthers will think they've just gone into a tunnel of dynamite. This is a city that right now can hardly wait to see their Oilers win a Stanley Cup Finals game. And tonight, the Edmonton Oilers are going to need their best effort against the Florida Panthers, because we do know that the Edmonton Oilers fans are going to bring their best effort tonight.
All right, for Edmonton, the Oilers have got to pick it up They got to put more pucks to the net early. Rob, for me, I want to see 12 to 15 shots for Edmonton, maybe in the first 15 minutes of this game. And it won't be easy because Florida has done a great job suffocating the Oilers' attack.
Well, Florida, they deny opportunities. They deny you getting to the front of the net, but the Oilers got to find a way to get there. What we've seen through 2 games is Bobrovsky, if he can see it, he stops it. You're not going to score from him against him from 30, 40 feet out. You got to get into the blue paint. Bump them. Fall around the blue paint. Look for garbage. Look for loose change in there. The Oilers have not done a good enough job. They had 3 forwards last game get a shot on net at regular strength. Watch in the entire game. And Hyman had 1. The Oilers need their forwards to be in the blue paint. The Oilers defensemen are getting pucks through, but there's no second or third opportunities. There's no tips. There's no rebounds. That's how you're going to beat Bobrovsky. And I think the Oilers have to do a much, much, much better job of hanging around the blue paint.
That's one of our 4 keys to the game, brought to you by Ford, the official partner of the Edmonton Oilers. Built Ford proud. Rob, Florida, to me, has mastered the art of gamesmanship. They're an in-your-face, aggressive team. We know that. There is a standard that deviates a bit from what we see in the regular season. Does Edmonton need to engage a little bit more, or really just is it too much of a departure from their game?
Well, I mean, the Oilers, how many power plays did they have last game? They had a number of power plays. They're getting their chances. They got to make you. When a team is in your face, when the referee calls it, make them pay for it. That'll pull them away. That'll stop them from playing that way. The Oilers got to try to match the physicality. They got to get pucks in. This is the finals. This is something where you do whatever it takes to win a hockey game. That's why you saw in the last game, Ekblad left game, he came back. Nurse left 4 times, he came back. Kane was on the bench when he was not at probably only at about 60%. These players are playing through everything because it's the finals. So at the end of the day, whatever it takes to give your team a better chance of winning is what you have to do as a player. And right now we're seeing the Florida Panthers do it to perfection. We need the Edmonton Oilers to step it up tonight.
That is our inside the game analyst, Rob Brown. More with Rob Brown, Cam Moon, Reed Wilkins. Coming up during the end of the roll, first intermission, Stuart Skinner is coming on the ice right here, right now. We will pick it up in-house. Stanley Cup final. The Oilers looking to rally after Florida took Game 1 and Game 2 in Sunrise. Jack Michaels will have the call up next on 4 Dealers NHL Hockey and the Oilers Radio Network.
Discover the epitome of elegance at Alberta Diamond Exchange, dedicated to crafting unforgettable moments with exquisite jewelry collections for over 2 decades. From stunning engagement rings to timeless wedding bands and anniversary treasures, the Alberta Diamond Exchange commitment extends far beyond I do. Your journey with Alberta Diamond Exchange is not just about jewelry, it's about an unparalleled experience. Check out the Aspen Glen Landing Boutique in Southwest Calgary, and for more information, head to avdiamond.ca today.
Blue-collar work deserves big-dollar perks. Get a heavy wallet with Heavy Metal Equipment and Rentals. Heavy Metal Equipment and Rentals is hiring heavy equipment technicians, maintenance supervisors, PM servicemen, maintenance coordinators, and pretty much every other position that makes Alberta go. We help move the earth that makes Alberta grow. So why not work for a company that makes your bank account grow too? Visit heavymetalequipment.ca to find your new career. Heavy Metal Equipment and Rentals, helping you move the earth.
From your home to the ice rink, ATCO Energy is there. As the official energy provider of Rogers Place, we're also proud partners of the Edmonton Oilers. ATCO Energy, powering your place. Customers are free to purchase natural gas services or electricity services from a retailer of their choice. For a list of retailers, visit ucahelps.alberta.ca or call 310-4822.
At Northern Lakes College, students work, raise their family, and complete their certificate, diploma, or partnership degree. With NLC's supported distance learning model, you can do it all in a flexible online classroom. Programs in academic upgrading, business, health, human services, resource technology, university studies, and more, including a wide range of courses available through continuing education. Skate into your new career in a learning environment that works for you. NorthernLakesCollege.ca. Everywhere you need them to be.
We welcome you back live inside Rogers Place. The Edmonton Oilers and the Florida Panthers in Game 3 of the Stanley Cup Final, with the Panthers leading 2-0 alongside Bob Stauffer. I'm Jack Michaels inside our Legacy Heating and Cooling broadcast booth. Let's get right to it with our Coventry home starting lineups. Flexibility within reach. Get back in the game with customizable designs by Coventry, the official builder of the Edmonton Oilers, who will dress Stuart Skinner in the pipes once again. He's 11-7 in this postseason. He's played to a save percentage of .896. He's been good, just not as good as Sergei Bobrovsky in the first 2 games of this series. Cody Ceci back in the lineup for Edmonton. He'll be paired alongside Brett Kulak. And a newly revamped second line will have Leon Draisaitl up in the 2-hole, of course, but this time flanked by Ryan McLeod and Corey Perry. That's your starting lineup, brought to you by Coventry Homes. Other changes of note. With Perry back in the lineup, Evander Kane decides he can't go. He will not play in Game 3. And, of course, with Ceci back in the lineup, that means Vinny Desharnais comes out. Broberg will be paired with Nurse, and Kulak and Ceci as a pairing. Derek Ryan also draws in on the 4th line for Edmonton, which looks like this. Holloway and Fogle on the wings there. So basically, the 1st and 3rd lines intact. The 2nd and 4th lines get a makeover for Edmonton, who, remember, did not get a shot in the first 11 minutes of the first period on Monday night and managed just 1 in the first 10 minutes of the second period. Chris Knobloch knows he needs more offense. His club was limited to 19 shots, and he'll be looking to break through against Sergei Bobrovsky, who's rattled off 5 straight wins for Florida in the playoffs, playing to a save percentage of better than 95. The Panthers have also made a couple of quick changes. Rodriguez, who scored 2 goals, including the game winner on Monday night, pops up to the first line with Barkov and Reinhardt. Matthew Tkachuk swings over to the right side to make room for Carter Verhaeghe. And, of course, in the middle is Sam Bennett, who set up the goal that sealed the deal. The empty netter from distance by Aaron Ekblad that secured Florida's 4-1 victory in Game 2 on Monday night after a 3-0 shutout win over the Edmonton Oilers on Saturday. Bob, what's the vibe as you see it coming in?
Oilers got to get going, got to bring energy early. Give the crowd, Leon Draisaitl said it the best, we got to give this crowd something to get going with. Oilers got to be much better early, get some pucks and traffic to the goal, and challenge Bobrovsky and force their D. How important do you think maybe the first, is it any more important than normal, their first 5 minutes tonight? 100% it is, just the way the last 90 minutes of this series is gone. It's been dictated in Florida's terms. The Oilers need to change that.
And they'll try to change that before 18,347 tonight. Outside, crammed. It was tough getting in here. Rogers Place ready to explode. The first Stanley Cup final game played in this building is just moments away. But first we go into the crowd where Robert Clark is standing by with the U.S. and Canadian anthems. Ladies and gentlemen, we can hardly wait for Game 3.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave. Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all of us command.
Now, tonight's exclusive NHL broadcast.
He shoots and scores.
Now it's Draisaitl off to Connor McDavid. Centers Kane for the hat trick. He scores.
All the action called by the voices who know the game inside and out.
This crowd explodes.
Bob Stauffer and Jack Michaels on the Oilers Radio Network.
Only 5 times in 54 tries has a team down 2-0 in the Stanley Cup Final come back to win the championship. The Edmonton Oilers will look to become the 5th team to do that, and in order to do that, the picture gets very small. Win a home game, and series is on. Good evening, everyone. Jack Michaels, Bob Stauffer, Reed Wilkins, Rob Brown. It's the Oilers Radio Network bringing you Game 3 of the Stanley Cup Final with the Florida Panthers leading 2-0, having beaten Edmonton in the 4 prior meetings this year relatively convincingly, a combined score of 17-5. So the Oilers, if you look at the great picture, they got to win 4 out of 5. Well, Florida lost 4 out of 5 as recently as the last week of March, early April. So it can happen, but it only can happen if you win tonight's game. It's Game 3 of the final. Leon Draisaitl against Alexander Barkov. Draisaitl came up high with a hit on Barkov in the 3rd period of Game 2. Barkov left the game, did not return, but is able to go in Game 3. Draisaitl faced no additional discipline beyond the 2-minute penalty he earned on Monday night. Referees Steve Kazari and Dan O'Rourke, linesman Johnny Murray, Matt McPherson, and here we go. The first Stanley Cup Final game played in Edmonton since 2006. Barkov, Draisaitl, the puck is dropped, and we are underway. Thanks so much for joining us live on 630 CHED, the Oilers Radio Network, and Radio Player Canada app. Corey Perry reinserted, able to wave it in. Oilers left to right in the blue and orange, outlined in white. Florida in the white, the blue pants, and the red trim. And it's chipped down the left-hand side by Nico Mikkola, who scored the game-tying goal on Monday night. Retrieved by Ceci, and he'll move it up the middle for Brett Kulak. Swings in left-hand side and puts it behind Sam Reinhart. Gathered and twisted back to the right side by Mikkola. Advanced through to Sam Reinhart, who's had a quiet series after 57 during the regular season. 57 goals. He and Austin Matthews, the only two better than Zach Hyman's 54. Draisaitl bangs it in deep. The Panthers retrieve. The puck stays in the zone. Boot short, quick shot, save made. And a stop on Connor McDavid by Sergei Bobrovsky. That was a good look in the first minute, Bob.
Yep, real good opportunity.
Matthew Tkachuk up the left-hand side. He'll drive it behind the net, patrolled by Stuart Skinner. He waits, delivers to Matthias Ekholm, who has the only goal in 120 minutes thus far for Edmonton in this Stanley Cup Final Series. Tkachuk defends well at his own blue line, forces it back into the Edmonton zone, and Nugent Hopkins will drop for Ekholm, who wedges it down the middle of the ice, and this will be no icing. Oliver Ekman-Larsson dances back to pick it up for Kulikov, up the right-hand side, and punch plunge forward. Tarasenko into the forecheck against Philip Broberg. Interesting pair with Broberg and Nurse playing together. Tarasenko takes it behind the net, tried to bank it off Stuart Skinner, who was able to seal that near post. Tarasenko tried to catch him napping, but Skinner was able to make the save. Minute 44 gone by first period. And Bob, right off the top of my head, I don't think Nurse and Broberg have ever began a game together.
I don't ever recall seeing that.
No. I mean, obviously in certain shifts, they were on the ice together. But what do you make of the pairing? And why is Chris Knobloch and Paul Coffey inclined to go with that?
I don't think they want Nurse and CC playing. I think they wanted CC back in, and I think Broberg is really growing. He's coming on as a player here. And so they're going to see what he can do. Now, Florida's already soft chipping pucks in the Oilers' corner, selling out on the forecheck, trying to create turnovers. Stuart Skinner, best case scenario would be an average puck distributor as a goaltender. Mike Smith, who's here tonight, is a guy that really liked to wheel it, but they're trying to put forechecking pressure under Edmonton.
Zach Cassian is also here tonight. Looks like he could suit up tomorrow. Here's Anton Lundell, and he banked it off a skate in front, and then Stuart Skinner got a quick whistle as that puck was still loose in the blue paint. We'll do it again, a face-off in the Edmonton zone. The Oilers and the Panthers. Florida has never lost a game in regulation since they started coming to Rogers Place in the 16-17 season. They're 4-0-3. 2 years ago, the most notable game that I can think of the 7 that were played here was the last-second tying goal that Edmonton managed. I think Bouchard drove it home, and then the Oilers won it in OT. Hoisted down the ice, off the draw by Edmonton. Retrieved by Ekman-Larsson. Played to the corner. Enrique will beat Dmitry Kulikov, and it was fumbled away by Connor Brown. Back to center, trying to regroup with Cody Ceci alongside Luos Turinen. Baited into an offside call. Another neutral zone draw. 2:13 having been played in the first period. The Panthers and the Oilers no score in Game 3. Florida second only to Dallas when it comes to the record away from home. 6-2 in the playoffs, 32-13-4 when you consider their regular season mark.
Well, and two very different teams. Dallas with depth and relies on skill, and they play to the whistle. And Florida, a team that drags in a fight with skill, and obviously a great road team.
And they play to the echo of the whistle.
Yes.
Here's Holloway, chipping it up the left-hand side. Mikkola grabs it, skates away from traffic, fending off, trying to force up the left-hand side. Fogle took it away and played it down low. Chris Knobloch this morning talked about the need for supplemental offense from guys like Fogle, McLeod, and Perry. They've combined for 2 goals in this postseason, and Fogle's was an empty netter. Forsling will shovel it in. He got belted by Derek Ryan, who draws back into the Edmonton lineup. Cody Ceci up the right-hand side, guided toward the net by Fogle. Flipped ahead to Tkachuk by goaltender Sergei Bobrovsky. Matthew Tkachuk will dump it in. Sam Bennett, at his best in the playoffs, nullified by Draisaitl, who then backhands it over to Broberg. He'll swing it up the ice, picked off by Tkachuk. Centering pass, one-timer to save Stuart Skinner on Carter Verhaeghe. Not the 2 guys you want to turn it over to, but Skinner with a good read, and he made that look relatively routine on Carter Verhaeghe, who's tied with Draisaitl for second, only behind Zach Hyman with 10 goals in this playoff campaign.
Bit of a panic there from Philip Broberg. Of course, he's a left shot playing the right side. He wraps it around the board, but the Panthers got inside position and they stripped it. Good look early. Solid save from Skinner.
Face-off won against Reinhart by Draisaitl. Of course, Sam Reinhart drafted 1 spot ahead of Draisaitl in 2014 and 1 behind his teammate Aaron Ekblad. Panthers see the Oilers able to jam it in. Nurse got caught in a pinch, and here comes Flora. Maybe an odd man rush. Barkov to Reinhart, in over the line. A shot and a stick save made by Skinner. Rebound Broberg. Kept alive down low. Broberg does a nice job of disrupting the cycle and allowing Draisaitl to look for a give and go with Corey Perry, who did not get it out against Mikkola. Behind the net, You've got Evan Rodriguez looking, surveying, centering for Reinhart. Good defense played by Broberg. He made the steal, took the hit, and attempted to clear a second time. It does leave the zone. A little behind Draisaitl and gobbled up and brought back in by Rodriguez, but offside. 4 minutes gone by in the first, and the Oilers a bit of a ragged shift there in their own zone. No score in Game 3.
And Florida is funneling everything to the net, Jack. They've already got 5 shots on goal. We're 4 minutes into this game. And Perry's having a conversation up the ice here with Tkachuk. Way up the ice.
Yeah, in fact, out of our range. They were on the right half boards in the Florida zone, and of course the action was back inside the Edmonton blue line. Faceoff will be right in front of the Oiler bench. Again, no Evander Kane tonight for Edmonton. He is an unhealthy scratch, just too banged up, couldn't make it into the lineup. And for Edmonton, again, CC replacing Desharnais on the back end. Derek Ryan hops in for the Oilers. Sam Carrick exits, and of course, Perry replaces Kane. Here's Ekholm. Off the draw in his own zone. He'll send it up the left-hand side to Nugent Hopkins. McDavid tracks it down, dishes off to Evan Bouchard. Now Hyman in over the line. He, like Draisaitl, held pointless thus far in the series, but the Panthers are able to disrupt, force a giveaway. Here's Tkachuk in over the line, turned it over, and now we've got a penalty coming. It'll be an interference call.
Nugent Hopkins.
Time 4:30, and the Panthers, who are 1 for 8 on the power play in this series, will get an early chance to grab a lead in Game 3. Tough pass, I thought, to Nugent Hopkins, and that triggered it.
Hyman's going to put the puck to the net. Jack, we've talked about this over and over. That starts, they turn the puck over. Now Florida gets their first power play of the game.
Good news is for the Oilers, they just had a run of 33 in a row snapped. They're still 35 for their last 36, 93% of the playoffs. And here's Derek Ryan out for the faceoff, beaten by Barkov. Retrieved by Tkachuk, left circle. Down low to Sam Reinhart. CC, Ekholm, Ryan, and Henrique out there. And maybe a trip in the slot. Oilers perhaps fortunate there. Henrique just cleaved one of the Panthers to the ice.
That's a penalty.
And Florida will get back in its own end. That very easily could have been a full 5-on-3, and the Panthers none too happy about it. Barkov will move it to Sam Reinhart. In over the line, Matthew Tkachuk, a shot off the ankle. Getting back defensively is Darnell Nurse. Open, calling for it. Montour didn't get the puck from Tkachuk, and it was rammed off the boards and out. Good play by Nurse to make sure he gets it down on the Florida end. Panthers have to retreat. Minute 10 to go on the man advantage. McLeod has now come out. Ekholm, CC, and Fogle round out the Napa Auto Parts penalty kill. Barkov up the middle, looking for Montour. Kept it alive for Tkachuk, right corner. He'll steer it around the boards. Montour late getting there, pitchforked out by McLeod. And now Bobrovsky ahead of Fogle will come out and shoot this puck back up to Carter Verhaeghe. In over the line, Verhaeghe left wing. Swung it back to Tkachuk, mishandled. And now Connor Brown's got a shorthanded chance to the net. Wrist shot denied. Rebound Fogle. Threw it back in front. Brown shot it over the net. Crowd ready to absolutely erupt. 2 shorthanded looks for Connor Brown. Neither goes in, but the crowd an appreciative roar. 6 minutes gone by. Scoreless in the first. Sam Bennett, second unit out for Florida. Tarasenko back in front. Out of the reach of Bennett. Lundell out to the point, and Ekman Larson completely fanned on it. Rodriguez down low. Open man. Right circle. Shot. And that missed high blocker. Good chance, but unable to hit the net. And Florida's Oliver Ekman-Larsson up the left-hand side. That was a good look for Lundell. Just missed the net entirely. Sam Bennett popped it back into the offensive zone, but Edmonton has killed it off. Ekholm up the left-hand side. Nugent Hopkins out of the box. And now rifled into the Florida bench by Rodriguez himself. And with 13:23 to go in the first period, we'll take timeout. Panthers did not get even a shot on net on that last power play. Instead, it was Connor Brown with a good look. Bobrovsky stopped him, and as a result, Game 3 remains scoreless. Florida, Edmonton, Stanley Cup Final live from sold-out Rogers Place in downtown Edmonton. The Oilers Radio Network.
Legacy Heating and Cooling Jingle auditions take one for Ryan Nugent Hopkins and Zach Hyman. Are you ready, guys?
We were born ready. Heck yes, Nuge. Drop the beat. Call Legacy. Call Legacy. We freaking killed it, Nuge. That's what I'm talking about, Zachary Martin Hyman.
Nice guys. We're going to sell a lot of air conditioners.
Hey, doesn't Legacy offer no payments and no interest for a year on those?
Yeah, well, thanks for the assist on the copy points there, Nuge.
It's just what I do.
Legacy Heating and Cooling.
MIC is a leader in medical imaging and the official medical imaging provider to the Edmonton Oilers. Make MIC your choice. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, the game doesn't stop for injury. MIC's sports medicine imaging specialists can help you get back in the game with a timely and expert diagnosis. Go where the pros go. For a location near you, visit mic.ca.
Straining to find the right home? You're going to love this. For a limited time, get back in the game with a free Oiler Fan Cave basement by Coventry Homes. This playoff package includes a free basement, plus an exclusive Oiler Fan Cave, complete with their signature customizable designs and top shelf finishes at no additional cost. Because flexibility is within reach. Coventry Homes, the official builder of the Edmonton Oilers.
All games, all season. You're listening to the Oilers Radio Network.
So following the successful penalty kill, McDavid, Draisaitl, and Hyman are out there for Edmonton for an O-zone draw with Ekholm and Bouchard defensively. So we welcome you back inside Rogers Place for Game 3 of the Stanley Cup Final. Legacy Heating and Cooling broadcast booth. Here's Draisaitl against Reinhart off the draw. The puck slithers behind the Florida net. Reinhart up to Rodriguez, who has 3 goals to lead all players in this series easily. In fact, Rodriguez is only the 8th player in the history of the league to get 3 goals in his first 2 Stanley Cup Final games. Jake Gensel was the last to score in his first 3 games in the final. Rodriguez into the offensive zone for Forsling. Shot Ekblad, that was blocked. Rebound comes out to Forsling. The league's plus-minus leader during the regular season. A handoff to Ekholm. Beaten to the spot by Rodriguez. Centering pass broken up off the shoulder of Skinner. That almost went in the net. Here's Ekman Larson turning it over. And the Oilers have something. McDavid with Draisaitl and Hyman in over the line. McDavid a shot, and that whistles wide. Careens off the boards. And because he missed to the wide side, it's a 3-on-2 for Florida. Sam Bennett a shot, and that just missed. Just missed. Rebound Verhaeghe. Takes it to the net. Tried to go 5-hole and a save made by Stuart Skinner off that backhander. 12:21 to go in the first. No score. Florida, Edmonton, Game 3.
You nailed it. You know, it's Bobrovsky's a good goaltender. I think you got to shoot low, short side there. Here, Connor McDavid for any chance of a decent rebound. Darnell Nurse has brought his legally on. He's recognized that they're not calling anything, and he's getting shots in late on guys. It's the way it's going to have to be played. Oilers have to have a little bit more gamesmanship. But right now, Florida's out shooting Edmonton 7-3. The Oilers have passed up 2 opportunities to shoot the puck. In tight.
Face off. Pulled free by Connor Brown for the Oilers. He'll charge up the right-hand side and get it in deep. Go to work on the forecheck. Hovering close by is Janmark. Brown from one knee. Feeds Nurse. Sharp angle shot. Fought off by Bobrovsky. Rebound Connor Brown. Deep right corner. Shovels it back to Philip Broberg. He'll take it hard to the net. Broberg on his backhand. Waiting. Dishing off. Nurse waits and then puts it back behind the net. Wrap around Janmark. Save Bobrovsky. Rebound. That was blocked. Came out to Broberg. Shoveled it toward the net. A leaping play and a clear by Brandon Montour. That was well done. Broberg back in his own blue line. Oilers reset. They're moving left to right in this first period. We've played 8.5 minutes. There's no score, and it's been highly entertaining. The shots are 7-6 Florida. First 2 games of this series, we've seen lopsided first periods, more evenly played tonight. Jammed in deep by Edmonton, taken by Kulikov for Florida. He'll hit Stephen Lawrence, who chugs his way into the offensive zone, takes a shot that handcuffs Skinner. He makes the save. Rebound Stanley. That shot seemed to get on Skinner quickly. Dylan Holloway looking to clear and did not get it done. Kulikov taps it back down low. Skinner tries again for Holloway, and this time it's the veteran Kyle Opozo thrusting it down low for Stephen Lawrence. He waits. He flashes it back behind the net for Stanley. Out to the point, Ekman Larson. He'll put it down low. Opozo can't control. Forsling came over, got popped by Holloway. He, in turn, was belted by Opozo, but the puck came free and was cleared to Cody Ceci, who lumbers to center and then shoots it in. Taken by Rodriguez in his own end for Florida. Aaron Ekblad behind his own net tries the right-hand side. It's wedged up safely to Sasha Barkov. Top of the circle. Drag move. Ekholm read it. One-timer, and fanning on it is Aaron Ekblad. And here come the Oilers. Zach Hyman guardedly up to center and conservatively dumps it in. Barkov takes a hit from Hyman and tries to protect that puck down low. Ekblad gave it away. Nugent-Hopkins slides to Bouchard. Block shot. Nugent-Hopkins stays with it. Puts it back down low for Hyman. Taken away. Fired into the crowd. Delay of game against Florida. Panthers will be shorthanded and without their best player on the ice. That's a big mistake by the captain, Alexander Barkov. He fires it out of play with 10:05 to go in this first period. The Oilers will go to the Atco power play. Atco Energy, your trusted Alberta retailer.
It's not a bad call. And for me, in order for the players, they got to get automatic with what they're doing on power play. They got to shoot the pill. They got to put the puck to the net, attack the net, create some chaos. Connor McDavid talked about it yesterday, Jack. Leon Draisaitl reaffirmed it today along with Chris Knobloch.
Bob, the 50-50 jackpot currently sitting at $4.5 million. Tonight's early bird prizing, $5,000 at Safeway and a Ford Maverick. And you've got plenty of time for both. Off the draw, shovel down low, Nugent-Hopkins on this Atco power play, which is 0 for 7 in the series. Hyman, one-timer, and a save. Bobrovsky point blank on Connor McDavid. You won't get a better look than that. Draisaitl saucered across, Bouchard. McDavid right circle. I mean, McDavid was camped out in the slot. What a look. Bouchard. McDavid, top of the circles, rolls, dishes. Here's Nugent-Hopkins, fires, and a save made Bobrovsky, and the rebound hits the plexi and gets out of play. But Connor McDavid has had two terrific looks at Sergei Bobrovsky and been repelled on both.
Got to keep going. I mean, great play by Hyman, high slot look, and McDavid went high to the blocker side there.
And so did Nugent-Hopkins. Draisaitl with McDavid and Hyman stacked between circles to his right. Nugent-Hopkins on the left half boards and Bouchard stationed right in front of backup goaltender Anthony Stolarz for Florida. Face-off won by Draisaitl, Bouchard to Nugent-Hopkins. Bouchard, Nugent-Hopkins, loads, fires, shot blocked, rebound loose. Bouchard, McDavid, top of the right circle. Little spin move on Reinhart. Drifts down low to the goal line. Fires it out. Bouchard. Slap shot. Blocked. Dishing. Draisaitl. Slap shot. Bouchard. Wide. Rebound clattered off the boards and out of the zone. Another 90-mile-an-hour plus shot from Evan Bouchard, who tries to catch Florida in a change. Gliding in over the line is Nugent-Hopkins. Couple of spin moves. Bouchard. Over to McDavid. Hesitation move on Stanley. Center pass. One-timer to save Bobrovsky. Magnificent on Leon Draisaitl. And that's 3 combined chances for McDavid and Draisaitl. And Bobrovsky has stopped them all with 45 seconds to go on the man advantage. We remain scoreless in game 3.
What a great look for Leon. Through the seam from McDavid after Nugent-Hopkins did a Savardian spinorama or two. Did I get a piece of Forsling, or was that all Bob?
Yeah, Bobrovsky fought that off, Bob. Lundell dishing off. Winning the face-off. A chance for Mikkola. Lazy clear up the right-hand side. And then Stenlund muffed it. Bouchard making him pay for Nugent-Hopkins, who rockets it cross-ice for Draisaitl. And now McDavid. Florida may rue the 2 missed opportunities to clear right there. Here's McDavid. Juggling, top of the right circle. Now firing a slap shot, and that just missed blocker side. Rebound Nugent-Hopkins. Turns it down low. Hyman elects to let it go through. Kulikov trying to fight off some checks. Stenlund has an opportunity to clear, and he does. And that will do it for the first unit and probably the power play in and of itself. Down to 5 seconds on the man advantage. Nurse and Broberger back out there 5-on-5. commences with McLeod up the middle and a steal by Sam Bennett. Now out of the box comes Barkov. Bennett to the line and a shot sent wide from the top of the right circle. Hacked down low by Forsling. Big hop off the glass. Eventually tracked by Kachuk. And now you've got Sam Bennett trying to center. Only to have it picked off by Ryan McLeod. And here come the Oilers left to right. McLeod hits the Florida line. Wide open Corey Perry. Drag move? No. Wasn't there. Taken away by Forsling. And here's Kachuk. Up ice for Florida. Verhaeghe in over the line. Takes it behind the net. Protects on his backhand against Broberg. Out to Ekman Larson. Across. Montoura shot. And that was swallowed up by Adam Henrique. On it first was Fogle. And he'll drop it back to Darnell Nurse. It's a reload for Edmonton with 7:20 to play in this first period. Nurse rifles one, and that's, I thought, deflected out by Montour. They're going to keep the play moving. Bobrovsky to the corner. Brown a centering pass, and that's loose. And Evan Rodriguez comes away with the puck for Florida. He'll punch it ahead, trying to barrel his way through, continuing to mash his Barkov, but I think it's offside. Whistled against Florida and Evan Rodriguez with 6:57 to go in the first period. We got a good one in Game 3. Florida leading the best of 7 Stanley Cup Final 2-0 with victories of 3-0 and 4-1 in the first 2 games. We're dead even in Game 3, and back to Edmonton's Rogers Place in just a moment with more Ford Dealers NHL hockey. The Oilers Radio Network.
International Union of Operating Engineers, Local 955, is one of Alberta's largest and most diverse union locals in the province. Members work in everything from construction and maintenance to pipelines, renewables, healthcare, education, municipalities, and more. They are a big part of Alberta's past and will be a big part of Alberta's future. Apprenticeship, jobs, pension. That's IUOE Local 955. Visit joinustoday.ca to learn more, and let's go Oilers.
Get ready to live sky high. Sky Signature Suites offers remarkable units for rent, featuring sophisticated floor plans, designer finishes, resort-like amenities, and breathtaking views. Situated in the heart of Ice District, Sky is the address for socializing, dining, entertainment, and fun. A building like no other in a location like no other. Visit SkySignatureSuites.com and make your home high above the ordinary.
From your home to the ice rink, ATCO Energy is there. As the official energy provider of Rogers Place, we're also proud partners of the Edmonton Oilers. ATCO Energy, powering your place. Customers are free to purchase natural gas services or electricity services from a retailer of their choice. For a list of retailers, visit ucahelps.alberta.ca or call 310-4822.
You're listening to Oilers Hockey on 630 CHED and on the Radio Player Canada app.
6:57 to play, first period inside Rogers Place. Jack Michaels, Bob Stauffer with you. Game 3 of the Stanley Cup Final. No score in the hockey game. Mikula shoots it in. Game 4 will be played on Saturday night. We'll have it for you again. A 6:20 Mountain Time puck drop here at Rogers Place. And the Oilers either will be looking to even the series or extend their season. Here's Connor Brown driving in left-hand side. Florida having held serve at home earlier this week. A Monday victory after shutting out the Oilers in Game 1 last Saturday. And here's an icing call against the Panthers. 6.5 to play in the first period. And Bob, the shots are even at 8 apiece. Both teams have had decent looks.
They have. I think Edmonton's probably had the better A-grade opportunities.
Especially when you consider the players who've had them.
McDavid with 2 and Draisaitl with 1. And Connor didn't really hit the net on 1, but man, oh man, Bobrovsky, 2 terrific saves so far in this game.
He'll bear down against McDavid and Reinhart. That one low glove ticked off the outside edge of Bobrovsky's glove, but I'm not sure it was hitting on net. To echo Bob's point, off the draw, Ekholm tried to drive from the high slot, and that was deflected up and out of play.
As you know, the Oilers were a pretty good face-off team in the second half of the year. Chris Knobloch, they were the 4th best face-off team in the league from November the 13th on, but the Oilers have got a couple injuries to a couple of their centermen that's affecting them a bit in the circle. And Florida's already won 63% of the draws in this game. That's an area Edmonton has to improve on against a team that...
Well, they managed to get through it against Dallas. And the Stars, for the most part, had the advantage in that department in that series. But again, this is another step up in weight class. Off the draw, lobbed up the right-hand side and out by Aaron Ekblad. Grabbing the puck is Verhaeghe at center ice. It's going to be fired in by Forsling. That'll be taken off the boards by Tkachuk, spun to the middle. Bennett took a shot and then fired wide. What a good look for Verhaeghe. He's missed the net twice now, and a shot from Ekblad sails wide as well from the right point. Verhaeghe's had two good looks. One, a one-timer that went right into the midsection of Skinner. That time he missed the net, Bob. Here's Carter McDavid on the move, right-hand side against Ekblad. It's poked to the corner. Vladimir Tarasenko trying to protect the puck. A hard hit by Hyman. Shook the puck free. Nugent Hopkins to Bouchard. Open Ekholm. Slap pass to the middle. Deflected away from McDavid. Tossed off the glass, but not out. Held in by Bouchard. He gave it away. And Lundell with a soft chip back inside the Edmonton blue line. One of the more underrated players in the league, Anton Lundell. And it is going to be an icing call whistled against Edmonton. Now they may get together here.
They're going to center ice here, I think. Right, well, no, they're not. Puck went right between the defenseman's legs. But that is a strange call.
So, offensive zone draw for Florida, and they elect to go just fourth line out. Lawrence will take the draw. Stenlund and Opozo, his line mates. This is actually, again, kind of a line 4 versus line 1 matchup. Paul Maurice will stick with it. And off the draw, you've got a complete dog pile carved out of the circle by Bouchard. He'll move it up to Nugent Hopkins. Eventually fired toward the net. That floater is grabbed by Bobrovsky. With Hyman barreling down the seam, he elects to freeze it. And are they going to send Hyman off here? Or is it the Florida player going? I think they called a penalty.
It's on Hyman.
Wow.
When the fans find
minor penalty, 62.
No, it's Montour for the chop. It's Montour for the chop. That's what I was going to say. How do you call that? I did not necessarily see the initial slash.
That's a bit of a tough call on Brandon Montour, Jack.
Yeah, well, we haven't seen the replay. Maybe he did it unbeknownst to us. But in any event, the Oilers will be on the power play when we return. 5:14 to go in the first period. Wow, not much there.
That's a tough call.
That is a tough call. But the Oilers will look to pounce on it and take advantage here in the first period of Game 3 of the Stanley Cup Final, where we remain scoreless at Rogers Place with Ford Dealers NHL Hockey. The Oilers Radio Network.
Hey, Paul Brandt here. I've said it before and I'll say it again. I'm proud to call myself an Albertan. You know, after years of touring this great province in my Ford F-150, I've learned the value of driving a tough, capable, smart truck. Whether you're working for the weekend or long-hauling it like I am, there's an F-150 for every Albertan, with plenty of options to choose from, like available Pro Power on board. So if you're looking for a new truck, stop by your Alberta Ford dealer and tell them PB sent you.
When you play the largest 50-50 in sports, everybody wins. Your support makes all of oil country a better place. A place of kindness, caring, and compassion. Uplifting those in need, changing lives forever. The largest 50-50 pot in professional sports is currently growing by the second. Get your tickets now at EdmontonOilers.com and help change lives today. Maybe even your own.
AGLC license number 645766.
Did you know that there are 9 Napa Auto Parts stores serving the greater Edmonton area and have been doing so for more than 50 years? Since Napa first opened in Edmonton, the community has grown and vehicles have changed, but you can always trust Napa Auto Parts to provide you with the expert know-how and the best vehicle parts. And if that isn't enough, every time you visit a Napa Auto Parts store when you present your AMA card, you receive an additional 10% discount on all retail parts and accessories. Visit your local Napa Auto Parts store for more offers and expert know-how. Napa Auto Parts is a proud fan of the Edmonton Oilers.
Listen on air, online, and on the Radio Player Canada app.
This is the Oilers Radio Network.
Oilers off the draw to start the power play. Lost the faceoff, and it was hammered down the ice. So Draisaitl, McDavid begin anew. It's McDavid rushing in the puck from the right-hand side. Jack and Bob with you. 5 minutes to go. First period, no score in Game 3. Second power play of the night for the Oilers. 0 for 8 in the series. McDavid inside to Draisaitl, tried to stuff it in tight for Hyman. That was broken up. Back to Bouchard, right point. Kind of a cheap one on Brandon Montour. The Oilers look to take advantage. Draisaitl sets it up for Bouchard in the high slot. Back to Draisaitl. He fires, and that was blocked. Rebound, hop off the glass. McDavid to Bouchard one more time. Bouchard, McDavid between circles. Peers inside. Minute 5 to go on the Atco Energy power play. Gets it back from Bouchard. Does Connor McDavid. Dialing it up, dishing off. Nugent Hopkins waits. Down low to Hyman. Let it go through to Leon Draisaitl. Right now, the Florida Panthers forcing Edmonton out on the perimeter. Here's McDavid centering pass off the tape of Zach Hyman. Couldn't get it cleanly on net. Here's Draisaitl maintaining the offensive zone. Oilers have had it now for the last minute. Draisaitl a brief bobble, able to regain against Luos Terinen. Bouchard, McDavid right side. Bouchard faked the one-timer, then gets it back and rips, and a save made. Bobrovsky rebound. Leon Draisaitl. 25 seconds left on the power play. Bouchard walks the line, drops it off for McDavid. Left circle. McDavid waits, dishes. Bouchard one-timer. Draisaitl on a save made. Bobrovsky rebound loose in the corner. Panthers will try to kill it. Draisaitl had it, lost it, got it back, kept it alive. Now a chance for a clear. Luos Terinen. Ekblad failed to get it out. Kept in one knee. McDavid. Brilliantly done to Hyman. And now Leon Draisaitl. Here's a centering pass. What a save, Bobrovsky. Somehow stopping a wide open man in front. Connor McDavid. A terrific look. And once again, Bobrovsky able to come up with the answer. That's 3 times he's gotten McDavid in the first 17 minutes.
That was a lengthy go. Tired 2-minute session for the first unit. And Bouchard swung it around a Draisaitl one-timer. But right now, Bob's seeing everything.
Ekblad, another failed clear. He has not had the strongest of series. Florida dodged one there. The power play is over. The Oilers, after losing that opening faceoff, Bob, were in the offensive zone for the entirety of that power play. But they're 0 for 9, and off the draw 5-on-5, the Panthers are able to work through the neutral zone, and Mikkola will slap it down low and eventually set up for Alexander Barkov. His centering pass broken up, and Connor Brown comes up ice. Philip Broberg will activate left wing. He'll scoot it along. Janmark finishing his check on Mikkola. Puck wrestled free with 2:40 to go. The Panthers get a clear back to the red line. Oilers left to right come thundering back into the offensive zone. Broberg makes sure to get it in deep against Connor Brown. He'll come off on a change. Brown faked the drop pass, keeps it on a stick, now fired off balance. CC wide of Bobrovsky. Rebound will be taken by Janmark. He'll shoot on net. Bobrovsky makes the save. The rebound controlled and cleared by Kulikov through CC. Bobrovsky got jostled that time by Adam Henrique. Henrique and Perry are guys that can knock Bobrovsky off kilter, and the crowd recognizes that part of getting through to Bobrovsky is trying to disrupt him, trying to make him feel uncomfortable. Up the right-hand side. Florida's Ekman Larson. I'll give him credit. Bobrovsky's been terrific in this first period. 12 saves. Here's Ekman Larson up the right-hand side. Turned over by Tkachuk. Dylan Holloway rockets one down low for Warren Fogle with 1:45 to go in the scoreless first period. Here's CC sneaking down low. You've got a 4-player scrum in the near corner. Panthers trying to pry it loose. Instead, it's the Oilers sifting a pass out. Kulak a drive. Wide of Bobrovsky. Rebound point blank. Bobrovsky makes the save, and a terrific one at that against Cody Ceci down low. And now we've got more pushing and shoving. Tkachuk and Derek Ryan. Fogle tries to get in the mix. Tkachuk goes after him. Ekman Larson on his man. All kinds of pushing and shoving. More wrestling on the far side. They're going to take Kulak out of there. And that's just for starters. I can't imagine a power play is going to come out of this fray.
He knocked Bennett's helmet off. There better be a penalty to Bennett here. He went at Kulak twice.
Who knocked Bennett's helmet off?
Tkachuk knocked off.
Well, Tkachuk had his helmet knocked off, too.
He took 2 shots to start it, and think about Tkachuk, because he knows how to sell a call. Sold one the other night, and then they nailed him on a really suspect makeup call. I think this will be even, but I wonder whether or not Matthew Tkachuk has induced a call here on Brett Kulak.
Power plays are 2-1 Edmonton. 1:29 to go in the first period as we await the decision from veteran referee Dan O'Rourke. Steve Kazari discussing it with both captains.
Edmonton, 27, minor penalty for roughing. Florida, number 19, 2 minutes for roughing. Going to be 4-on-4.
Yeah, that doesn't help Florida. I mean, no offense to Brett Kulak, but, Tkachuk's now done for the remainder of the period. Now, he might have been done anyways because there's a minute 29 to go and he just finished a shift, but that's not the worst scenario from an Edmonton perspective. Plus, 4-on-4, a little more open ice. Bob, I have to feel that's going to favor Edmonton at some juncture in this series.
Well, this team's so good in every situation, Jack.
But they've been outscored 3-1, 4-on-4.
Yep.
I mean, I like Edmonton. I think the Oilers are the quicker team. So to me, 4-on-4 favors the home team in this situation.
Connor and Leon out here. It's on, Jack. And it's a different experience in this building. And I thought they needed to get 12 to 15 shots in the first period. They're at 13 here.
Barkov won the faceoff. Draisaitl trying to plow through Ekblad and did eventually gain control of the puck. Again, Ekblad failing to make a clean play with the puck. McDavid, change of pace on Forsling, trying to shake free of him. Bouchard had a poke checked away by Alexander Barkov, and now he'll have to deal with Barkov one-on-one. He reels him in. Barkov fires a pass. Forsling a shot. Deflected off the post and in. And Florida has taken the lead 1-0. The tip by Sam Reinhart, who's had the touch all season long. That's his 9th of the postseason, 66th if you include the regular season. And it's Florida 1-0 in Game 3.
Well, Barkov posts up on Evan Bouchard after a bit of a misplay. And they thread the needle at Forsling, who's just, how in the world did this guy, so many, a couple different NHL organizations completely miss on him? I do not know. What a pass, backdoor tap in, and Reinhardt's a finisher, and it is 1-0 Florida.
1:02 to play in the first period. Bennett beaten off the draw by Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, who's out there with Hyman. So now you've got Broberg and Nurse finishing off the final minute of this first period. But Florida with a 2-0 lead in the series and a 1-0 advantage here in Game 3 in Edmonton. Oilers get it in deep. Nugent-Hopkins rolls up top, high slot offensive zone. Shrugs free of one man. Now Verhaeghe trying to stay with him. Nugent-Hopkins, the drop for Broberg. Winds it up, redirected just wide of Bobrovsky by Nugent-Hopkins. A really good tip, and Broberg on a reset with 30 seconds to go on the frame. Broberg at center ice will drop it for Darnell Nurse. Hyman is out there, and now a lead pass. Connor McDavid, he busts through Bennett. Forsling is back to check him. A centering pass, and Forsling broke it up. And here come the Panthers. One last rush, 10 seconds to go in the period. Verhaeghe turned it over, and now Sam Bennett will take a skate. He'll fire it across. Ekblad at the horn with a shot that's gloved by Skinner, and that will be all for the opening 20 minutes. Edmonton with 13 first period shots on net. Florida 10, but it's the Panthers with a 1-0 lead. Nurse, a little token musclery against Ekblad at the end, but nothing major there.
Ekblad's not going to take that. He's not going to buy into that. I mean, that's all there is. That's not his game.
1-0 Florida, and Bob, 4-on-4. Reinhart with a beautiful tip from Forsling and Barkov, who, as you said, started it with a fine defensive play and then kind of positioned his body so Bouchard, who had reeled him in, couldn't get the puck.
We talked about the fact that they're literally good in every situation, and that's why. Now, one of the reasons why they're really good in every situation, Jack, is they got a goalie right now. We're 7 periods into the series, and he has stopped
63 of 64
shots. Like, you don't have to be a math genius to know that we're
pretty good.
That we're looking at a guy. And I think back, all that criticism the Vancouver Canucks organization got in 2011 when they were up 2-0, dropped this series to Boston. But Tim
Thomas was terrific.
He was unstoppable. And right now, the Oilers, they were goalied in Game 1 in the first period and a half against Florida, and they've been goalied here in the first period. This should be a 1-1 or a 2-1 game for Edmonton. A little bit of a I mean, just a fantastic play by Forsling. They have enough skill that when they pounce, and Forsling is completely capable of matching McDavid's lateral movement and speed because he's such a great skater.
He's done a great job.
They got to get to the other guy in that pairing. That's Ekblad. He's some
struggled.
Yeah. You know what? And he was injured earlier this year.
Yeah.
Bottom line here is just keep going. You got energy. Keep attacking that little greasy play by Henrique. The Oilers have matched the gamesmanship. They just haven't matched the marksmanship so far of the Florida Panthers.
Sam Reinhart with his 9th of the postseason from Forsling and Barkov at 18:58 in a 4-on-4. And by the way, we'll be skating 4-on-4 for the first 31 seconds of the second period. But dire straits right now for the Edmonton Oilers, trailing 2-0 in the series, 1-0 in Game 3, and running into a hot goaltender in Sergei Bobrovsky. 13 saves, a clean sheet for him, including 3 point-blank denials of Connor McDavid in that first period, and another one against Leon Draisaitl. A couple of power play looks, and Edmonton unable to break through against a determined Florida club, determined not to become the first team since the Boston Bruins in 77 and 78 to lose back-to-back Stanley Cup Finals, making a second straight appearance after losing to Vegas last year in 5 games. Reed Wilkins and Rob Brown on the other side. We're live at Rogers Place with Ford Dealers NHL Hockey. 1-0 Florida after 1 in Game 3 of the Stanley Cup Final. The Oilers Radio Network.
From the biggest stadiums to the coziest holes in the wall. From house parties to porch hangs to pride celebrations. From your favorite fuzz shop to your local Indian spot. From noodle bars to sports bars to salsa bars. There's a Molson with your name on it. Canadian Ultra XL. Molson. Everyone in. Must be legal drinking age.
Stay connected with your community and enjoy the latest updates and exclusive access to concerts and events by becoming a 630 CHED Insider. Don't miss out on a single moment.
Sign up now at 630ched.com
and click on CHED Insider Newsletter to become a vital part of Edmonton's premier news and talk community. 630 CHED, Edmonton's news, today's talk.
Where Edmonton stays informed and entertained.
Today and every day. At the intermission, brought to you by End of the Row Flooring Centers. Let's get flooring.
Kept in one knee, McDavid. Brilliantly done to Hyman. And now Leon Draisaitl. Here's a centering pass. What a save, Bobrovsky. Somehow stopping a wide open man in front. Connor McDavid.
Well, Bobrovsky continues to shine. 63 saves on 64 shots through 7 periods of the Stanley Cup Final. That was the highlight zone for Century Casinos. All in, all games, all season. Century Casinos, 3 great locations, Edmonton, St. Albert, and next to the Edmonton International Airport. Welcome to the Winter Zone. Reinhart from Forsling and Barkov with the teams playing 4-on-4 at 18:58 of the first period. So 1-0 Panthers after 1. Rob Brown joining me at the intermission for End of the Row Flooring Centers. Let's get flooring. Rob, Oilers can't score. Just could not get one in.
No, and it's on all because of Bobrovsky. He's been outstanding. The Oilers got their looks in the first 20, and the majority of their looks were by their 2 best players, Leon and Connor. Connor, I know that Jack talked about it, 3 point-blank looks. Connor had one that was almost identical that he had in Florida. Now, Florida, the ice was slow, it was bumpy, and as Troy said, you would expect in Florida that maybe the puck isn't laying flat and a little tougher to score, but you think getting here on good ice and the atmosphere here, that all of a sudden that's going to be an automatic, and Bobrovsky's there again. It's almost like he's got the cheat code, and he knows exactly where the plays are going to be before they get there. As the Florida Panthers on that penalty kill had 3 or 4 chances to get the puck out. They didn't. And the Oilers got extended time in the offensive zone. And they just kept getting more and more opportunities. And you just felt, okay, this is coming. You can't give the Oilers power play that many good looks. And when Leon hit Connor backdoor, Connor was wide open, had all the time in the world, on and off his stick. And I don't even think it's scared. going into the net. I think Bobrovsky was already facing the shooter before it left McDavid's stick. So the Oilers had a good period. They made some mistakes, but they had a good period. And if the hockey gods were fair, this would not be a 1-0 lead for the Florida Panthers. It would be tied at worst, and probably in a best-case scenario, they should be up 2-1.
Yeah, exceptional goaltending by Bobrovsky, and still exceptional defending by Florida. I mean, again, we see them blocking shots, denying passes, chipping passes. The Oilers can't get discouraged. Not that I would expect them to, but they got to look for some. I mean, Ceci almost scored off a puck that he was just firing into the far corner, and it hit a skate, and that one was close. I mean, I'm searching for chances to talk about because the Oilers are searching for chances to turn into goals.
Well, near the end of my career in Pittsburgh, I used to play down on the goal line, kind of where Leon is, but I was a passer. And when things weren't going right and I got the puck, I would shoot it 100 miles an hour through the crease. Not on net, wasn't trying to make a pass. I was shooting it through the crease, trying to hit feet and hoping that it's going to hit a foot and go in, or hit a foot and off the goalie, and then it'll be a rebound. And now the puck is where you want it to be. And on the one that we saw you were talking about with Ceci, he just throws it at the net. The Florida Panthers play such a very tight defensive style in front of their net, and that's why the Oilers have a hard time getting men to the front. But there's always at least 6 feet in front of the net. There's always 2 defenders and 1 Oiler player. If you throw the puck, the way the players are always facing, they're facing north-south. So if it hits a skate, it's going off the skate and towards the net. To me, if you don't have a play, it'd be much better to, instead of cycling or throwing it behind the net, throw it at feet in front of the net. And if there's a battle, let's battle 2 feet in front of Bobrovsky. Maybe we get a goal. Maybe we get a scoring chance. We saw, I think it was Hendrick who fell on top of Bobrovsky just to jostle him a little bit. But I think that's what the Oilers got to do more of. Just continue to throw pucks on it. And a great example, I know, it was a beautiful play by Reinhart with the goal. But that was one where it was being shot wide of the net, and hoping it hits Reinhardt's stick. But if it doesn't, there's also Ekholm's feet and Reinhardt's feet, and if it hits any of those things, it has a chance of going in the net. So the way Bobrovsky's playing, it's going to be a weird fluke goal that beats him. So why not just continue to throw pucks? Unless you're Connor or Leon, everyone else, throw pucks on net, because it's more fun to play in front of the net and create chaos than it is playing along the perimeter where you know you're not going to beat them.
Power play goals hard to come by as well. Florida has the only one in this series. That was last game. They're 0 for 1 on the power play. Edmonton 0 for 2, unable to break through there as well. And as we've talked about, I mean, you honestly feel, well, maybe you don't. Sometimes I feel watching these 2 teams kill penalties that it's 50. If there's a goal scored, it's 50-50 whether it's going to be power play or PK. I mean, that's how aggressive the PKs are.
It is. I don't see.
I mean, I'm not. You know what I'm saying? The PKs are looking to get the puck.
I feel that more so when the Oilers are killing, that there's a chance they're going to get a goal.
I really have a couple chances.
He had 2 great chances on that one. More so than the Oilers are really good at puck control. They don't seem to give up any chances against, considering they've got 4 elite offensive players and a fantastic elite defenseman that is offensively gifted. So you would think those are the types of power play units that give up chances against. They don't, but the Oilers got their looks. That power play looked dangerous. Both power plays they had tonight looked very dangerous. They're getting their looks. They just need to find a way to get one by Bobrovsky. He's feeling it right now. I do like the fact that the Oilers bumped him 2 or 3 times tonight. Continue to do that. Get into his head, because right now, I don't know. I can't remember a goaltender having a stretch as good as Bobrovsky's had through 7 periods here.
We saw a 5-on-5 scrum there. Then that led to the penalties, and then the 4-on-4 play, which wound up helping the Panthers. And so Nugent Hopkins got an interference penalty. Barkov shot the puck over the glass. There was talk before this series, will Florida take penalties after the whistle? Well, they did there on Montour, though out of all the things we've seen, quite frankly, both teams do after the whistle. I was surprised that one was flagged.
Terrible call. It was a terrible call. There was a number of things that they could have called earlier in the game if they wanted to. A terrible call, one that the Oilers didn't take advantage of. The 4-on-4, I felt coming into this series, and I've watched Florida play all of their playoff games so far in the earlier rounds, and they do like scrums. I thought that would play into the advantage of the Edmonton Oilers because I didn't think that the Florida would get a lot of penalties because they're very good at making sure they take someone with them. But to me, 4-on-4 favors Connor and Leon. And Ekholm and Bouchard on the back end. So when that happened there, 4-on-4 late in the period, I'm thinking, here's a great opportunity for the Oilers to get a 4-on-4 goal. Instead, a misread defensively. Both Ekholm and McDavid went to the wrong guy, left Forsling wide open, and he made a wonderful play.
1-0 Panthers after the first period. Game 3 of the Stanley Cup Final. Panthers won the first 2. For Dealers NHL Hockey on the Oilers Radio Network.
Portage College graduates are incredibly employable. How does Portage know? 99% of employers surveyed said they would hire a Portage grad. Get career ready at Portage College. Learn more by visiting portagecollege.ca.
When the Oilers are on the ice, the big hits are a part of the game. But they shouldn't be a part of your drive. If you've been injured in a car collision, let James H. Brown & Associates and their over 200 years of combined injury law experience help you. Locally owned and proud Edmonton Oiler fans, James H. Brown & Associates is ready to support you with their unrivaled experience, unrivaled results, and unrivaled commitment. When accidents happen, head to jameshbrown.com.
Pizza 73, the official pizza of your Edmonton Oilers. Loyal to the oil, in Edmonton we trust. Rising to the top like a pizza crust. Down to the crunch, got the flavors to play. The city of champs, going all the way. Let's go Oilers, E-Town unite. Ice District to Jasper, downtown to White. Wearing orange and blue, game on the street. Make the right call, Pizza 73. Let's go Oilers.
737373, Pizza 73. Believing in yourself takes confidence. At Portage College, 93% of grads say their education gave them the skills and knowledge they needed for their careers. That's the kind of confidence that leads to great results. Learn more at portagecollege.ca.
This is Global News at the first intermission. I'm Rod Kurtz. For the 37th month in a row, transit ridership is up in Edmonton. 5.3 million rides in the month of May. That's up 130% from 2021. ETS says the city's population boom, new buses, and the Valley Line LRT are all factors in that increase. Something new for cyclists in the downtown to check out this weekend, a bike valet service. The new secure lot is located on 100th Street at 102nd Avenue. It's first come, first served. It's open Saturdays from 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. and is staffed as well, thanks to Boyle Street's Higher Good program. Work is resumed today on Calgary's huge water main break. It stopped overnight when 2 workers were hurt at the site. Occupational Health and Safety gave the green light for crews to get back to work today. Calgarians have been conserving water for about a week, but consumption has increased in recent days. Mayor Jyoti Gondek is once again asking Calgarians to conserve. I'm Rod Kurtz, your next scheduled newscast at the second intermission on 6:30. Ched.
Until June 8th, make the shift to more savings at Fountain Tire and get up to $200 off a set of 4 select tires, plus a bonus $50 off any service of $150 or more. Restrictions apply. Financing available. Book online today. I can tell by the look on your face you're thinking about it.
McDavid trying to come in with speed. Here he comes. McDavid shoots. Top shelf. He scores!
Hey, Rogers customers and hockey fans. Rogers wants you to win big this Stanley Cup playoffs.
Connor McDavid! Fantastic!
You could win a VIP trip to the Stanley Cup Final, plus hundreds of prizes, courtesy of Rogers Beyond the Sea. For your chance to win, visit rogers.com/Stanley Cup. That's rogers.com/Stanley Cup.
The Brick and the Edmonton Oilers both started right here in Edmonton back in the 70s. And we know nothing is more exciting than playoff hockey. We're next to you in the stands, painted blue and orange, cheering our hearts out. And when we're not there, we're in our stores, making sure you have everything you need to cheer them on in your home. We're proud of this city and its rich sports history. The Brick, supporting the Edmonton Oilers and fans right from the beginning. Let's go, Oilers.
Until June 8th, make the shift to more savings at Fountain Tire and get up to $200 off a set of 4 select tires, plus a bonus $50 off any service of $150 or more. Restrictions apply. Financing available. Book online today. I can tell by the look on your face you're thinking about it.
At the intermission, brought to you by End of the Row Flooring Centers. Let's get flooring.
Okay, let's check the scoreboard presented by Pizza 73, official pizza of the Edmonton Oilers. The U.S. Open underway today at Pinehurst in North Carolina. Tied for first at 5 under are Patrick Cantlay and Rory McIlroy. Canadian Corey Connors is tied for 9th, 4 shots off the lead. CFL tonight, about 3 minutes into the third quarter. Ottawa leading Winnipeg 16-10. Elks host Montreal tomorrow at 7 at Commonwealth Stadium. Oilers down 1-0 to the Panthers after the first. They're coming out for the second. Jack and Bob have the call. Fort Dealers NHL Hockey on the Oilers Radio Network.
At the intermission has been brought to you by End of the Roll Flooring Centers. Let's get flooring.
Even though your 20s are behind you, you still get to have firsts. Like the first time your knee hurts after a morning run. Or the first time you felt certain muscles after a workout. Whatever your pain, Advil Liquid Gels are here for these firsts. Advil Liquid Gels provide liquid fast relief for everyday aches and pains. So you can get back to your everyday active life where firsts still happen. When pain says you can't, Advil says you can. Proud partner of the Edmonton Oilers.
Athletes know that to advance your career, you've got to be part of a winning team. So, what about you? Are you working for a winning team? Well, here's your chance to do just that. Grant is a strong and stable industry leader with career opportunities across Canada. We have hundreds of positions available right now, from parts, sales, positioning technology, heavy-duty mechanics, and more. Be a part of a winning team. Earn your stripes by joining Grant today. Find out more at grantjobs.com.
And there's a mini waterfall going through the basement roof.
I'll fix it. Don't worry, babe.
And I might have horribly shrunk your lucky jersey.
Life happens. Access Insurance can help. The save of the game is brought to you by Access Insurance. When Albertans need it most, they know they can count on the Access Insurance team for a huge save. It's easy to switch and save. Check out their Google reviews.
Visit accessinsurancegroup.com.
All games, all seasons. You're listening to the Oilers Radio Network.
50-50 jackpot sit. I'm Jack Michaels alongside Bob Stauffer. The Stanley Cup final with the Panthers leading 2 games to none rather. Oilers trying to make it 2 games to 1, but they're down a goal. Sam Reinhart, a tip in with a minute to go in the first period. By the way, the early bird prizing, you got 10 minutes left to register for $5,000 at Safeway, and you're still in the running for a Ford Maverick for the next 40 minutes. That's the early bird prizing on the Oilers 50-50 playoff jackpot. Off the draw to start the second period. Forsling up to Barkov. He'll send it in deep. Draisaitl, McDavid, Ekholm, and Bouchard on the ice for Edmonton. But, of course, those were the 4 players on the ice when Florida got their first goal. Sam Reinhart battles through a check. Down low, Ekholm able to close out quickly. And here's McDavid. Starting up the right-hand side, he'll loft it behind the Florida defense. To this point in the series, McDavid, Draisaitl, and company have been held to 1 goal in 7 periods. Reinhart on a transition game and a wrist shot taken by Matthew Tkachuk fresh out of the box, and that was lifted over the net. Good deflection by Edmonton. We're back to 5-on-5. Remember, we started the period 4-on-4 hockey for 30 seconds. The Oilers down defending. Coming over the line is Sam Bennett, and we're going to have a hand pass whistled against Florida in the neutral zone with 19:02 to play in the second period. The Oilers having outshot the Panthers 13-10 in the first. But the reason I mentioned Draisaitl in particular, I mean, it's McDavid, Draisaitl, they kind of go hand in hand. But at least when Leon Draisaitl has not been on the score sheet, Edmonton's lost 13 playoff games in a row. So don't underestimate his importance and contribution when you're talking about the league's best player, Connor McDavid, absolutely. But Draisaitl's right there with him in terms of a proven playoff performer. Sam Bennett up the left-hand side. The Oilers try to dump it in and maintain the zone now as Zach Hyman attacks the net with a backhander. Save made. Sergei Bobrovsky, the rebound chipped up the right-hand side to Matthew Tkachuk. Not out just yet. So with a 4-on-4 situation to start the period, right now Nugent Hopkins centers Fogle and Hyman. The puck worked around to Carter Verhaeghe for Florida. Left to right in the white sweaters with the blue pants. Oilers in the blue and orange. Defending in over the line. Mikkola drop pass and a drive sent high and wide by Sam Bennett. And the rebound, Adam Henrique. It's going to be a breakaway. Warren Fogle right to left. Shoots and scores. And this game is tied. Warren Fogle, his first goal since game 1 of the playoffs, ties game 3.
Well, the Oilers knew right away Florida was up in the rush, and they were basically on a 4-on-3. The puck wrapped around, and the Edmonton Oilers got an opportunity on transition after a quick change. What a play by Adam Henrique. He digs it out. Kulikov had pitched up, and Fogle was off to the races. Bennett with backside support, couldn't catch him.
What did Fogle do?
He shot the puck, Jack. He didn't go to a deep.
Adam Henrique served it up after the miss by Bennett, which is always dangerous, Bob. You can create odd man rushes the other way. Henrique to Fogle, and exactly the kind of secondary scoring that Chris Knobloch labeled as ultra important coming into the game. You'll recall game 4 of the Dallas series. Oilers trailing 2-1 and 2-0. It was Ryan McLeod converting on a pass from Corey Perry, and that turned the game and ultimately the series around. And now we're tied, and Janmark levels Vladimir Tarasenko off a dump in. Luostarinen seals the wall, and here come the Panthers. Left to right, scrambling over the line is Lundell. Man fell down, and awkwardly Tarasenko can only tip it into the corner. Cleared by Cody Ceci up the right-hand side. Ekblad stands his ground. The Oilers have their second goal of the series, and it's Warren Fogle. The first time he's beaten a goaltender in the Stanley Cup playoffs. He had 20 during the regular season. Kyle Pozo shoots off the pads of Skinner. A backhander from Stenlund turned aside by the Oiler goaltender as well. Leon Draisaitl up to Darnell Nurse. Ekblad brings it the other way for Kevin Stenlund, trying to shake himself free of Darnell Nurse into the corner. You've got Kyle Pozo dialing up, shooting, and a save made by Skinner. Rebound whacked off the boards. Corey Perry curled it off, and that came outside the line. Evan Rodriguez will be whistled for an offside by Matt McPherson, the linesman. 3 minutes, 11 seconds having elapsed in the second period, and that crowd simmering now after rising as one following Warren Fogle's second of the postseason. That's his 11th career Stanley Cup playoff goal.
Well, the Oilers, the 2 clear-cut breakaways in game number 1, Henrique and Nugent Hopkins, and they both went to a deke on a goaltender that's got great lateral movement, takes away the lower half of the net, and Fogle shot it.
Warren Fogle, previous career high, was still in the teens. I mean, he was a guy that had been sitting around 14, 15, 16, 17, broke through for 20, and what a lift for Edmonton. Off the draw, you've got Montour, shot, a block by Skinner, a rebound, and Rodriguez getting roughed up by Darnell Nurse down low. Corey Perry chiseled it free off the corner boards, and now Broberg will jump up the center. He's with Ryan McLeod, will send it down low and change. Panthers back in their own zone. 1-1 tie here. Barkov muffed one at center. Perry lays it off to Matthias Ekholm. 4 minutes gone by, second period. A reload for Edmonton. Bouchard to Ekholm, churning the legs over the Florida blue line. Hamels down low, kicked off the corner boards, and now Brandon Montour. He'll start it up the left-hand side. Sent in deep by Carter Verhaeghe. Matthew Tkachuk and Sam Bennett could not get there. It was cleared quickly up the left-hand side by Draisaitl, and Nugent Hopkins will send it in deep. After it, Verhaeghe. He'll throw it around the boards, and on it and clearing successfully was Bennett. Now Connor McDavid. He'll shovel it through everyone. Sergei Bobrovsky to Aaron Ekblad up the right-hand side. Hard hit on Verhaeghe by Ekholm, and Florida stymied. Cannot get it out of the zone. Zach Hyman back on the puck for the Edmonton Oilers. Pulls it free. Ekholm, weak shot. Dribbled on net. Bobrovsky had to make a trickier save than maybe it looked. McDavid against Ekblad in the corner. Trying to peel that free was Bennett. He did so. Kachuk knows Bouchard is coming, and he clears back to center ice. 5 minutes gone by in the second. And the crowd urging Edmonton on, with the Oilers getting the equalizer. Here's Hyman stepping in, but offside with 14:53 to play in the second. Fogle from Henrique at a minute 49. An early second period goal answering the late first period tally from Sam Reinhart. That was a big one. I mean, Fogle is a guy, Bob, that often tantalizes you. You think he's turned a corner for good, and he might go quiet for a few games. And
2017 came over from Kingston to Erie. He was the the OHL playoff MVP as Erie won the OHL championship, ultimately losing to host Windsor.
Well, he scored an overtime series clincher along the way in that playoff run. And that's the team that Chris Knobloch won with, not the McDavid team. Here's Brett Kulak. Fires up the right-hand side. Fogle falls down. The McDavid team was a heavy underdog, beat Darnell Nurse's Sault Ste. Marie club, but then lost to DJ Smith. And now a turnover and a save made by Bobrovsky. And another good look for the Oilers. And now Ekman Larson having coughed up that puck. A real good look for Dylan Holloway, but denied by Bobrovsky. Squared up, and he's able to control the rebound with 5.5 gone by in the second period. And the game tied at 1.
Right to the front of the net, though, every time with this line. This line is playing north-south hockey, and they're attacking the goal after the shots, trying to create some chaos.
Derek Ryan
didn't win a faceoff in the first period. It's a right shot, the only right shot the Oilers got dressed.
Sam Carrick, a healthy scratch tonight for Edmonton.
At
Ryan
center.
centering Fogle and Holloway. Yeah, of course, Corey Perry shoots right, as does Zach Hyman. And now more whistles and a quick check of the ice at Holloway's feet in the slot. They square that away, and Lundell and Ryan will do this to Bobrovsky's left. Lundell wins another draw for Florida. Kulikov spills it back to center for Luo Starina, who's digging, working against Cody Ceci, who won that battle and allows Fogle to knock it back down low. Ekman Larson tries the left-hand side again, and Ceci foils a clear. And once again, Fogle burrows his way back beneath the goal line. Ekman Larson shields off his man and allows Kulikov to escape to center, and he'll rifle it down deep. Cody Ceci reversed back behind the net. On it is Brett Kulak, and he's able to clear up the left-hand side for Janmark. Turning and winding it down low, Nico Mikkola with a turnover. Janmark poked it free. Connor Brown to Janmark. Looked for a wraparound. It wasn't there. Rushed back to the point. Held in by Broberg. He'll put it down low for Janmark. Squirted free for a moment. Bobrovsky taking a look. Brown ducks inside against Montour. To the corner. And now out. Broberg takes a shot. Tipped, and that might have been heading toward the net. It got caught up in some traffic. Henrique and Mikkola. And Bob, did that puck have a chance to go in on the deflection? Because I thought it was slithering toward the right skate of Bobrovsky, and then it hit the bodies in front. That would have been interesting.
Well, Adam Henrique, again, all over the front of the net. He was scrapping with Nico Mikkola, and had Henrique been able to give great puck tracking there from Sergei Bobrovsky, Jack.
13:28 to go, second period. Time for a break. 1-1, game 3. Reinhart for Florida. Fogle for Edmonton. We're tied at Rogers Place with Ford Dealers NHL Hockey. The Oilers Radio Network.
There's only one line of trucks that's outsold all others for 58 years. Only one with the available Power Boost hybrid engine on select models that delivers performance and efficiency. It's the truck that all others are measured by. You know the one. Tough this smart can only be called F-150. Right now, lease the 2024 F-150 STX with black appearance package at 2.49% APR for up to 24 months with $4,800 down. That's just $228 bi-weekly. Visit your Alberta Ford store or Ford.ca for details.
Experience the exciting casino action at 3 Century Casino locations: Edmonton, St. Albert, and next to the Edmonton Airport. Dine at one of their amazing restaurants featuring daily specials. Check out the best in live entertainment at any amazing location. Plus, you can always enjoy a great selection of casino gaming options or try your luck at off-track betting. And now you can feel the thrill of live horse racing at Century Mile Racetrack. Century Casino has it all. Come for the action, stay for the fun.
Chemco is building industry across Canada, and now they're on the lookout for civil and electrical project managers, estimators, and superintendents to join their dedicated team. Why Chemco? Because Chemco cares. They put people first, offering top-tier compensation packages and an unwavering commitment to safety. At Chemco, safety isn't just a priority, it's everybody's business. Ready to be part of a team that truly values you? Visit chemco.com/careers today.
You're listening to Oilers Hockey on 630 CHED and on the Radio Player Canada app.
1-1 tie, second period, 13:28 to go. Florida led 1-0 after one on a tip-in by Sam Reinhart, 4-on-4. But after Sam Bennett missed at one end, Henrique put one out in the middle, and Warren Fogle converted the ensuing breakaway, his first goal since Game 1 of the LA series back in late April. And so the Oilers have tied Game 3 of the Stanley Cup Final at 1 apiece. Ekblad for Florida with a shot from just inside the blue line that Stuart Skinner makes his 13th save on as the Oilers look to get on the scoreboard in this series. They trail 2-0, but again, the old adage says a real series doesn't begin until the road team wins a game. Edmonton looking to hold serve at home. Bob and I will have Game 4 for you Saturday. And that's a 6:20 puck drop as well. Mountain time here at Rogers Place in Edmonton.
Barkov's had a good game against Leon in the circle, Jack.
Barkov wins another face-off, but it squirts between his defenseman Montour and Nico Mikkola, who dashes after it and mishandled the puck, then got bailed out. As coming all the way down low was Evan Rodriguez to control. Montour up to Sam Reinhart, and he'll take a pass from Mikkola and snap it behind the Edmonton net. Barkov threw it around the boards, tipped away from Reinhart. Rodriguez on it for Florida, and now Reinhart against Darnell Nurse. Banked it off the back of the net. Broberg is there, nudged ahead, and Ryan McLeod to Leon Draisaitl, trying to get through Forsling. He did momentarily, then centered short side. Kick back to him, blasted high and wide by Ekholm on a puck that came out to the left point. Drop down low, Draisaitl for Corey Perry. Leon Draisaitl. Perry playing his 211th Stanley Cup playoff game. Draisaitl at giveaway. Evan Rodriguez down the seam. He's open. He shoots. And that was tipped away at the last moment. For a moment there, Bob.
Yep, he had a
the parting of the Red Sea. Here's Bouchard up the right-hand side. Zach Hyman. Little change of pace on Forsling, and it works. Carries behind the net with some separation. Now centers. Open man Bouchard faked the slapper. Now let a wrist shot fly. And a glove save made by Sergei Bobrovsky with a dozen minutes remaining in this second period. The Oilers have outshot the Panthers tonight 18-14, and we are tied at 1. Game 3. Edmonton only once before in franchise history. And keep in mind, the Oilers were front runners and dominant in a lot of their Stanley Cup playoff runs, but they did rally from 2-0 against San Jose back in 2006.
Jack, I was obviously around Edmonton, not on the broadcast, but I was hosting the drive show at that time. Nobody saw that happen.
Turnover, Florida. McDavid point blank, and Nugent Hopkins had his shot ricocheted into the corner. A skate of Sam Bennett got it. And Verhaeghe plays it down low, looking for Matthew Tkachuk, who's been quiet in this series. Nugent Hopkins knifes it through the middle of the ice. Forsling takes over back in his own zone for Florida. Aaron Ekblad left to right for the Panthers, clad in white jerseys and blue pants. The flip behind Matthias Ekholm up the left-hand side. Snatched away by Bennett. Then he'll cough it up. Ekholm to Nugent Hopkins. A dart down the middle, and here's a chance to the net. A save, Bobrovsky rebound. Another save. First time, and then McDavid. And tossed back through the middle by Florida. That'll sail wide of the net and be whistled for an ice missing, but back-to-back chances, point blank. First time and on the forehand, and then McDavid's backhand denied by Bobrovsky, who has stopped 19 of 20 shots tonight.
Oh, great headman pass from Bouchard right on the tape to Zach Hyman, and he drops his shoulder and gets a good shot on goal. High glove on Bobrovsky, and then McDavid tries to spear home the rebound.
Kulikov got back to disrupt the shot from Hyman, but as Bob noted, he did well just to get a pretty clean one off, and two more difficult saves turned in by Sergei Bobrovsky. McDavid, time and time again, Bob, in this Game 3 has been foiled by the Vezina finalist, Sergei Bobrovsky. Off the face-off, dribbled on net. Bobrovsky will cover. McDavid with 4 shots on net as he looks for his first goal of the Stanley Cup final. 32 points in the playoffs, leading his teammates Bouchard and Draisaitl by 4 apiece. Face-off to Bobrovsky's right. Draisaitl will take it against Lundell. The Let's Go Oilers chant continues to reverberate. Face-off win Lundell. Ducking behind the net, Oliver Ekman-Larsson. Headmans to Lundell. He was bottled up at the red line. Now Fogle. Backhand pass intended for Holloway. That's going to be picked off by Kulikov. Holloway took him off his feet and then grabbed a puck in the slot and threw it on net. A save made Bobrovsky. Rebound taken by Lundell. Brilliant individual effort by Dylan Holloway, and Lundell shoots it in. Here's a centering pass. One-timer score. Skinner got caught, and Tarasenko buried it. Bob, just what you were talking about in the first period. An innocuous-looking dump in. Skinner got caught lunging, and Luostarinen found Tarasenko for the goal that makes it 2-1.
Yeah, we talked about the fact soft chips, soft dumps either put the Oilers under duress with their defense, or conversely, it's part of Stuart Skinner's game that is unequivocally going to evolve over time. But he's 4 years into his career and 2 years in as a starter. And they're just a bit of a miscommunication, and you hand a free goal away to Florida. Can't do that.
Time 9:12. Just a dump in. And Luostarinen gets there first, threw it into the slot, and Tarasenko buried it, with Skinner having lunged unsuccessfully to make contact with a puck initially. Vladimir Tarasenko, of course, won a cup in St. Louis in 2019. 48th career goal in the playoffs, a drive from the point, and a save made by Bobrovsky. Right-hand side and cleared back through center. Flipped in by Bouchard. And now you've got Montour. Clubbed up the left-hand side. Stenlin will work it off the glass and back inside the Edmonton blue line. So Florida's depth scoring answers one from Edmonton.
Just the Oilers executed a great play to score theirs, and you can't give up a goal like that, Jack, at this level.
Forsling chips it off the left-hand glass. Here's Ekholm with his team now trailing once again 2-1. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, a brief bobble at the line. Barkov closing quickly. Gustav Forsling pinned down low in the corner for Florida. Oilers work it free. Here's Evan Bouchard. Slide step to his right. Forced out wide. Loading up. Dishing one-timer, and a Bobrovsky save sends the puck flying out near the blue line. Nugent-Hopkins plays it back down low. Locating it is Montour. He's able to successfully shovel it through the neutral zone, and that's going to be tracked and controlled by Darnell Nurse. Up the left-hand side, Connor Brown. He'll punch it deep into the Florida zone. Swiftly ahead for Ekblad. Right-hand side, Reinhart did not get it out. Nurse takes a shot. That's wide. Rebound kicks off the end boards, and an attempted clear by Verhaeghe fails. He'll be given a second effort, and now a third try, and he finds Aaron Ekblad finally with an outlet, and it's wristed down low with 9 minutes to play in the second period of Game 3 of the Stanley Cup Final. Florida leading 2-0 and 2-1 in this game. Janmark taken off his feet by Kulikov. A little pick play frees up just enough space for Kulikov to escape Corey Perry up through center, and now the Panthers might have something brewing. Lundell threw it toward the net, tries to finish his check on Corey Perry, who eludes that easily and hands off to Ryan McLeod. Lundell continues to disrupt a big hit by Ekman-Larsson, a finishing shot on Corey Perry, a cross-ice delivery. Luostarinen able to shield his man from the puck, and Florida will reset. Ekman-Larsson And Kulikov up the middle, a deflection on net. Skinner carefully paddles to the corner. That was better puck play because it frees up McLeod, and now Leon Draisaitl has some room for one of the few times in this series. Cross ice, he's got a man. He'll get it right back and center off of McLeod to Corey Perry. Went through the wickets. Draisaitl stays strong on the puck to Kulak. Across to Cody Ceci. Right point, he'll feather it down low. Ryan McLeod. Checked by Montour with 8 minutes to play in the second period. And the Oilers trailing 2-1 here in Game 3. Loose puck on the half wall. Montour continues to rake away. Draisaitl hovering close by. Whoa. Dislodged for a moment. Panthers muscle a clear back through the middle. Now it's Ceci to Kulak. His pass broken up by Luostarinen. Kulak will dump it right back in. Big wind-up Montour. Fired it up the right-hand boards, and this will be icing. Luostarinen felt otherwise, but no. And now Edmonton, with some good pressure in the Florida zone, draws that big wind-up from Montour. And with 7.5 to play, they'll get an offensive zone face-off against a fatigued Panther group.
Warren Fogel's seen a couple. He's had an extra shift already with Draisaitl after scoring that goal. Might want to, just because of the pace of the game, play McLeod and Fogel with Leon at some point here, Jack.
McDavid between Nugent Hopkins and Hyman wins the face-off. Ekholm to Bouchard. And now you've got Connor McDavid behind the net, tried to shovel it out in front for Hyman a second time. Darts behind. A third time. Darts behind. Now circles himself. Poke check Bobrovsky. McDavid recovers. Puck deflected toward Ekholm. He's able to maintain. And now Hyman digs in hard against Kulikov. Puck rolls free. Montour given another opportunity to clear. This time it's chipped successfully back to center by Opozo. Long change for Florida. The Panthers will get it done. Opozo with some good work on McDavid. And now he'll stride off. Here's Bouchard. He missed McDavid. This won't be icing as Bobrovsky comes out to play it against Zach Hyman. Now Bouchard steps up with a shot that was blocked in front by Ekblad. And now Stenlund down the middle. It's going to be taken by Barkov to the net with a backhander, and he slid it wide. Bouchard prevented a complete breakaway, and then a centering pass for Barkov was broken up as well. Missed opportunity for Florida. Nugent Hopkins will jam it back in.
We saw Barkov score a goal identical to that, Jack, a couple years ago in here on his backhand a long stretch.
Here's Rodriguez from center. He'll dump it in. Well, Florida's 4-0-3 in this building. So the Panthers have been comfortable here. Rodriguez to Kachuk. A one-timer blasted wide by Ekman-Larsson. A guy who scored 20 goals in this league on more than one occasion. Led Arizona in scoring twice. Here's Bennett forcing a turnover, getting it back, shooting and scoring. 3-1 Florida. Bennett from Kachuk. And the Panthers seem to make the Oilers pay for every single mistake.
Yep. And that time, Nurse and Broberg, and I think Darnell tried to poke it to Broberg up the short side, and a quick strip there by the Florida Panthers. Great play by Matthew Tkachuk, and Bennett with an elite level finish. What a playoff performer he is.
Matthew Tkachuk's first point of the series. Sam Bennett extends his point streak to 6 games. Nurse had it, lost it. A drive-by by Bennett might have bothered him, and then Tkachuk fed Bennett all alone in front, and he roofed it over the right shoulder of Stuart Skinner. So the Panthers, after Edmonton had tied the game, bounced back with 2 goals in a span of 4:45, and now it's 3-1 Florida in Game 3. Shots are 22-17 Edmonton. But Bobrovsky once again seems to be locked in. And Skinner, to be fair, I mean, the one is kind of his own error. But that one, just a giveaway right in front, eerily similar to the one Bouchard delivered in Game 2.
It's 2 goals in this game. They've given the puck away.
Ekman-Larsson following up a center ice faceoff. Will drop it into the Oilers zone. Kulak to Ceci up the right-hand side. Lundell banks it off the boards. Panthers dig after it. Ceci right-hand side. Brown bowled over, then got it back. Comes in with a drop pass. Janmark had to deflect off his stick. Another loose stick is in the corner, and the Panthers trying to wrestle it free. Ekman-Larsson in the mix, along with Tarasenko. Up the left-hand side, Lundell finally forced it off the glass and back inside the Edmonton blue line. Kulak and Luostarinen, a pair of 27s, and it's Kulak winning the battle and gliding behind his own net as we come up on 5 minutes to play in the second period, and Edmonton trailing 3-1. Angled off the boards by Ekblad to center off at Edmonton dump in. Kachuk went nowhere, went in to Ekholm and just disappeared inside the big man, and the Panthers were able to backhand it off an Oilers skate, and that tumbles out of play with 4 minutes and 50 seconds to go in the second period. And for the first time tonight, Florida has successfully quieted the crowd for now. Less than 5 to play in the second period of Game 3 of the Stanley Cup Final. The scoreboard reads Florida 3, Edmonton 1. This is 4 Oilers NHL Hockey, the Oilers Radio Network.
International Union of Operating Engineers, Local 955, is one of Alberta's largest and most diverse union locals in the province. Members work in everything from construction and maintenance to pipelines, renewables, healthcare, education, municipalities, and more. They are a big part of Alberta's past and will be a big part of Alberta's future. Apprenticeship, jobs, pension. That's IUOE Local 955. Visit joinustoday.ca to learn more, and let's go Oilers.
When you play the largest 50-50 in sports, everybody wins. Your support makes all of oil country a better place. A place of kindness, caring, and compassion. Uplifting those in need, changing lives forever. The largest 50-50 pot in professional sports is currently growing by the second. Get your tickets now at EdmontonOilers.com and help change lives today. Maybe even your own.
AGLC license number 645766.
When the Oilers are on the ice, the big hits are a part of the game. But they shouldn't be a part of your drive. If you've been injured in a car collision, let James H. Brown and Associates and their over 200 years of combined injury law experience help you. Locally owned and proud Edmonton Oiler fans, James H. Brown and Associates is ready to support you with their unrivaled experience, unrivaled results, and unrivaled commitment. When accidents happen, head to jameshbrown.com.
Listen on air, online, and on the Radio Player Canada app.
This is the Oilers Radio Network.
Face off to Sergei Bobrovsky's left-hand side. The Edmonton Oilers staring at another deficit, this time in Game 3 of the Stanley Cup Final, and the score is 3-1. Not since the 1970 Boston Bruins has a team won the first 3 games of a Cup Final by at least 3 goals. Panthers threatening to do it here. Montour got hurt off the draw. Maybe a puck hit him in the face. He's fighting it a bit as the Panthers struggle to clear. Nico Mikkola reverses back behind, and the Panthers come up with it, and Reinhart the outlet, and now Rodriguez sets up an open man, shoots and scores. Alexander Barkov, 4-1 Florida. The Oilers had the puck down low. The Panthers broke it out, and Rodriguez to Barkov, beating Skinner, high blocker. Time of the goal, 15:31. And Bob, that's 3 goals in 6 minutes and 19 seconds for the Panthers.
Well, it's a great shot, and Rodriguez has been a huge player in this series, and they've moved him up to this line. But it starts with excellent transition deep in the Florida zone. They ran a little bit of a pick, a little bit of a rub. Edmonton couldn't get in on the forecheck. And now the Oilers are in a world of hurt here at home, Jack.
Barkov, his 7th goal, 21st point of the playoffs. As Bob mentioned, Rodriguez not only with the 3 goals, but now the primary assist. I believe Reinhart will get the 2nd assist. Florida's top line, Bob, has figured in 2 even strength goals tonight. So the Oilers trail 4-1 off the center ice draw. It's Broberg racing through the neutral zone. Stripped of the puck. Kachuk to Sam Bennett. And now let's see how Florida handles a good deal of prosperity here. Can the Panthers lock down the Oilers for the next 24 minutes? Here's a shot coming in from the left-hand side off the rush by McDavid, and that one deflects up and out of play with 3:55 to go in the second. 4-1 Florida. And for a while, it looked like the Oilers had something going.
Well, 1-1. I mean, Edmonton had 2 or 3 real good looks. And Bobrovsky kept the Hounds at bay. McDavid trying to beat Bobrovsky to the short side, high blocker side. That's the scouting report on him.
He's got 5 shots in the game, Connor McDavid. 5 of Edmonton's 23 off the draw. Puck pops out to center. Kulak looking to resuscitate his team in the crowd a little bit. It's quiet in here. Cody Ceci up to the red line. He'll shoot it in. Around the boards, Lundell. Put it back behind his own net. Here's Dmitry Kulikov. Moving up the right-hand side with an angle pass that Lundell can't handle cleanly. Forked back the other way by Kulak. Hyman with 2 Florida Panthers draped all over him. And the Panthers able to break it up from center ice. It's flipped in by Anton Lundell. 3:15 remaining in the second period. Oilers start up the left-hand side. Bounced in by Adam Henrique. Directing traffic, Bobrovsky. Mikkola hit the referee in the back. Stephen Lawrence comes over to try to get it out. Can't do it. Came free to Kyle Opozo. He'll toss it, and that's very close to delay of game, but it won't be, as it almost clipped our colleague down there, Ray Ferraro, ringside, with 2:59 to go in the second period. The errant toss from Opozo will bring the face-off back in the Florida zone when we come back to Rogers Place. Game 3 of the Stanley Cup Final. Florida with 3 unanswered goals in this second period after Edmonton had tied it early. And it's the Panthers 4 and the Oilers 1 with 4 dealers NHL hockey before Rogers Place. 18,347. The Oilers Radio Network.
From the biggest stadiums to the coziest holes in the wall. From house parties to porch hangs to pride celebrations. From your favorite fuzz shop to your local Indian spot. From noodle bars to sports bars to salsa bars. There's a Molson with your name on it. Canadian Ultra XL. Molson. Everyone in. Must be legal drinking age.
Blue-collar work deserves big dollar perks. Get a heavy wallet with Heavy Metal Equipment and Rentals. Heavy Metal Equipment and Rentals is hiring heavy equipment technicians, maintenance supervisors, PM servicemen, maintenance coordinators, and pretty much every other position that makes Alberta go. We help move the earth that makes Alberta grow. So why not work for a company that makes your bank account grow too? Visit heavymetalequipment.ca to find your new career. Heavy Metal Equipment and Rentals, helping you move the earth.
Look, I know this is radio, so it's hard to show you how much is on sale during the Big One clearance event at End of the Row Flooring Centers, but it's a lot. Like this flooring, or this one, and all these. Yep, all at clearance pricing for a limited time. Now, you don't need to just imagine what it would look like, though. You can use our visualizer at endoftheroll.com to upload a picture of your room to see the flooring in your actual home. Try it. Find something you love, then get a great deal on it at the Big One clearance event on now at End of the Roll Flooring Centers. Let's get flooring.
All games, all seasons.
You're listening to the Oilers Radio Network.
4-1 hockey game. The Florida Panthers in this second period have scored 3 goals on 8 shots. And off the draw, it's sent up ice by Evan Rodriguez, who just set up Sasha Barkov for the latter's 7th goal of this Stanley Cup playoffs. Here's Janmark in from the left-hand side. Ekblad, his stick shattered. Here's Bouchard to drive, redirected in front of Bobrovsky. Reaching, can't clear. Another clear hit, Barkov. Stays in the zone. Ekholm to Janmark. A drive, a save, Bobrovsky. The rebound, Barkov. He waits. He puts it up the boards. Did not get it out. Bouchard down low. Edmonton trying to catch Florida here. Janmark on the left half boards. Sets sail for the Florida net. Poke check by Barkov, who failed to clear moments ago. Now Bouchard laid it down low for Henrique. Around the boards, Connor Brown to the point. Ekholm dangerously close to the blue line. Stays in. Brown to Bouchard. Point blank. Save Bobrovsky. Rebound. Another save Bobrovsky. And he's got it with 2 minutes to go in the second period. And even Florida's lazy and ineffectual shifts, Bob, are cleaned up by another Bob on the ice.
I mean, this guy's playing lights out, Jack. And
Bouchard, I mean, that's a look that defensemen dream about. One-on-one with about 3 or 4 seconds to locate a shot.
Jack, the Edmonton Oilers got 77 shots on goal in 8 periods in this series. They got 2 goals.
Yeah, he stopped 75 of 77. Face-off win for Leon Draisaitl, and now Chris Knobloch has gone to Draisaitl, McDavid, Hyman. A shot from the point dropped by Bobrovsky, and he'll fall on it. So here's Chris Knobloch with 2 minutes to go in the period, sensing he needs his best 5 out there to try to get a goal back here, trailing by 3 with essentially 22 minutes left in regulation. Little pile up in front of the net, some digging, and as they uncork, I'll give a shout out, if you don't mind, Bob. Today, my parents' 54th wedding anniversary. We've never talked about that, but of course, you and I have never done a game on June the 13th. It also happens to be a notable date in Oilers history. Do you have any idea what it might be? It involves a member of the Florida organization and someone you've referred to at various times.
Got one each way here in a penalty call?
Yes. Little dust up in front. It looks like Corey Perry for the Oilers will be joined by Sam Bennett. 1979 expansion draft. Yes. On this day, the Oilers selected...
Sit down. Well, he selected Pat Hughes. Or no,
yes. Think Florida organization.
Florida organization.
Distinct relative.
Oh, Colin Campbell.
Colin Campbell, 1979.
Yeah, well, wasn't that memorable?
I know, but I just thought...
I think they made
me digging that up.
Yeah,
I thought
you did your
that.
homework. You know, Colin Campbell, I think they made a bigger deal of that in the Boston-Florida series than this series. I don't think it's...
No, I know, but we've obviously seen Colin throughout this series, and...
right behind us.
Gregory Campbell.
I mean, we should mention that in the Draisaitl sequence that happened in the last game, Jack, we were watching the linesman having some orders and taking some time by the timekeeper's bench, and you wondered whether or not is there any conversation going on.
Well, it's a rule that's changing, of course.
Yes.
It will be reviewable next year. Face-off coming left side of Bobrovsky.
And they were right behind us in the broad, so 4-on-4 hockey.
4-on-4
But Florida scored the last time they had this situation, and we talked about how good they are. Look, this is looking like a wagon, this Florida team. That's the problem for Edmonton. I mean, they're getting shots. They got 27 in this game.
Well, I was going to say, I mean, the biggest problem I see it is number 72. Now, the Panthers also have made the Oilers pay on seemingly every mistake they've made in the series.
Do you remember when Pittsburgh lost in 4 straight to Boston and only scored 2 goals?
2013.
Yeah.
That was Tuukka Rask. And that was a quick exit for the Penguins.
Of course, it was Thomas in 2011 when they won the Cup.
One of 2 times in the last 15 years that a team has rallied from 2 games to none to win the Stanley Cup. A chip out off the draw to Barkov, tracked by Bouchard. Final 90 seconds of this second period. It's 4-on-4. Barkov soccers it back to Forsling, across to Aaron Ekblad. He'll send it off the plexi. That dribbles behind the net. Ekholm slugs it ahead for Draisaitl. He got finished by Forsling, and here's Sam Reinhart twisting off a check from Ekholm and then giving it right back to Leon Draisaitl, who ambles his way up to center. Crowd wanted a penalty. Draisaitl stumbled down, and here's Lundell centering. Open Reinhart, and that was a save for Skinner. Either that or Reinhart perhaps pushed that a bit over the glove and over the net. Minute 5 to go. Here's McDavid the other way. Soft chip to Draisaitl. Heading toward the net, defended by Mikkola. Leon Draisaitl looking for his first point of the series. Nurse back to Draisaitl. Shoots, and a save made by Bobrovsky. From the left circle, here's McDavid. From behind the net, he'll send it off the boards to Bouchard. Edmonton looking for a momentum swinging goal here late in the second period. And the Panthers a little sloppy coming out of their own zone, but Lundell was able to regroup and chip it softly behind the Edmonton defense. Nurse turns, but Bouchard is first on the puck with a half minute to go in the period. Oilers have outshot the Panthers 28-18, yet trail 4-1. Lead pass, here's Nurse turning and sending it back behind the net for Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. Is a penalty coming against the Florida Panthers. Hooking. 20 seconds to go in the second period. And Ekblad in a 4-on-4, Bob, he's the most heavy-footed of the 8 skaters on the ice.
The other guy's been brilliant, Forsman.
Yes.
He's been fantastic.
Third power play of the night for Edmonton. Florida's had just the one. And now with 20 seconds to go in the period, That wasn't much either.
That's tough.
That's another tough
That's
call.
two tough calls against we're the Edmonton broadcasters.
Yeah.
That's two tough calls against the Panthers.
I agree, and especially considering Reinhardt might have been slashed by Ekholm on that last scoring opportunity.
You have to capitalize here if you're the Oilers. Jack, this is a 4-on-3. Here's one. Leon has to win the faceoff against Barkov. And then Bouchard's got to shoot if he gets a chance.
Barkov out there with Forsling and Mikkola. Tie up off the draw. Battling through. Barkov is able to strike it up the right-hand side. 10 seconds to go in the period. Bouchard with one last rush in the period. McDavid. Drop pass. Draisaitl over to Bouchard. In front. Backhander save. Bobrovsky on Hyman with 2.5 seconds remaining. And another good look for Edmonton in the slot. Turned aside by Sergei Bobrovsky, who has stopped 28 of 29 tonight. As again, Edmonton is a plus 11 on the shot clock, yet a minus 3 on the scoreboard. Now, you think back to that face-off play.
Empty net here, Jack.
Well, you think back to that face-off play where Edmonton tied it 2 years ago. Draisaitl won it. Bouchard shoots, and a save made by Bobrovsky. Exactly what happened 2 years ago, only this time Bobrovsky makes the save, his 29th of the night, and Florida will head to the locker room shorthanded for the first 100 seconds of the final period, but nevertheless armed with a 4-1 lead in the game and a 2-0 lead in the Stanley Cup final.
Can't give away goals, and the Oilers give away 2 of the goals in this game. And just an absolute backbreaker on the backside pressure. We talked about the fact that the Panthers were soft chipping and soft dumping pucks, and on the Oilers, Mike Smith's an elite puck handler. I think Stuart Skinner, he's going to improve 2 different things over the course of time. I think he's going to improve on his glove hand, and I think he's going to improve in his puck handling. But that gave them a little bit of momentum, 2-1. And then Darnell Nurse playing with Philip Broberg. And unfortunately for Darnell, a tough play. Gives the puck over to the wrong guys. I mean, Tkachuk and Bennett. And I'm sure there's lots of Flames fans happy that those guys come through for Florida. They're probably cheering for them. But bottom line here, 3-1 at that point, then a brilliantly executed transition the other way to get great Barkov. And Jack, the Oilers they outshot Florida 17-8 in that period, and they got outscored 3-1. They got a power play to start. They got to score in the power play.
I don't think there's any doubt who the front runner for the Conn Smythe is.
His name is
now.
Sergei Bobrovsky.
Yeah.
You think so?
Yeah, he's the difference. I don't,
in a big way.
I don't take issue with much of Edmonton's game, but I will say this: Florida has capitalized on seemingly every mistake Edmonton has made in this series.
We got a goaltender playing at the absolute. This guy's won 2 Vezina trophies. An experienced guy. He's
finalist this year.
He's playing at the height of his powers.
Yeah.
And Stuart Skinner, I think he's going to be pretty good by the time he's 28, 29. He's got some things to work on. But he's at a sub-900 save percentage in the playoffs and well below that in this series again. And that's part of the challenge. They got a lot of work to do here in the third period. Starts with having a good power play and then trying to build some momentum off that.
Fresh sheet of ice, by the way. My parents received the shout-out. They wanted me to extend a particular thanks to you as the son they wish they had had.
No one has ever said that, Jeff.
Yeah, they didn't say that.
I know they didn't.
I just wanted to.
You're all warm and fuzzy here. We're gonna have. Anyways, bottom line here, the Oilers, if they want to make the crowd warm and fuzzy, they're going to have to snipe some goals here in the third period against the guy who's locked in.
And I agree with you. The power play just absolutely vital at the start of the third. By the way, our 50-50 jackpot has now crawled over $5 million. You still got time to get in on the early bird prizing. You got another, you just missed it. Sorry, 5 minutes. Well, you still want to get involved because, of course, you're supporting all kinds of good causes, including Albertans battling cancer, kids with critical illness, animal shelters, food security, military personnel. It's all part of the Edmonton Oilers Community Foundation playoff bonus 50-50. The jackpot's sitting at over $5 million right now for Florida. Well, the Panthers, you don't want to start thinking ahead if you're Florida, but they're probably thinking, is it possible? Are we 4 periods away from a jackpot of our own? First things first, they've got to take care of the next 20. Edmonton has been outscored 13-1 in their last 9 third periods. Obviously, that can't happen tonight. Florida's been very good in the third, very good period in this series to this point. And in the playoffs, they have outscored their opposition 28-11 in the third period. The Oilers will have to turn those numbers on a dime
to get on the board in this series. 4-1 Florida through 40 minutes of play in Game 3 of the Stanley Cup Final. The Oilers Radio Network.
Hey parents, do you work in downtown Edmonton? Childcare is hard to find, but at Kepler Academy, inside Sun Life Place, we still have some space for children 12 months to 6 years old. Located at 101 23 Hull Street, Kepler Academy Sun Life Place is an award-winning early learning and childcare provider, voted Edmonton's top choice for 4 years in a row. Visit KeplerAcademy.ca. Mention this ad and your registration fees will be waived.
It's our YEG with 630 Chad.
Enjoy Under the Stars dining, unique auctions, and more as Capital Care Foundation's Feast on the Field returns to Commonwealth on August 14th. Plus, join the excitement of their Charity Golf Classic August 15th. Details and tickets at capitalcarefoundation.net. Then join the Edmonton Riverhawks and 630 Chad on Canada Day as the Riverhawks take on the Port Angeles Lefties at Remax Field. Keep it locked to Ched next week for your chance to win.
For details on these and more events, visit 630ched.com. At the intermission, brought to you by End of the Roll Flooring Centers. Let's get flooring.
In over the line, Mikula drop pass and a drive sent high and wide by Sam Bennett. And the rebound, Adam Henrique. It's going to be a breakaway. Warren Fogle right to left, shoots and scores. And this game is tied. Warren Fogle, his first goal since Game 1 of the playoffs, ties Game 3.
Well, a promising start to the second period for the Oilers. Warren Fogle takes you to the highlight zone for Century Casinos. All in, all games, all season. Century Casinos, 3 great locations, Edmonton, St. Albert, and next to the Edmonton International Airport. Welcome to the Winter Zone. Just a minute 49 into the second period, but then it got bad, really bad. The Panthers scoring thrice in 6 minutes and 19 seconds. They are in complete control of this game and this series, 20 minutes away from a 3-0 series lead as they lead Game 3 4-1. Along with Rob Brown, I'm Reed Wilkins at the intermission for End of the Row Flooring Centers. Let's get flooring. They took a shot away for Edmonton. Kind of academic at this point. Shots are 29-18. Look, Florida they're obviously outstanding. They're doing a lot of things well. But you'd have to wonder what the score would be if the Panthers had even just above average or very good goaltending, because they are getting outstanding goaltending from Bobrovsky.
Well, the Oilers are getting Bobrovsky. He's been so good. The Oilers don't have a power play goal in this series, yet some of the looks they've had are better than the looks they've had in the previous series. I mean, how many times have we seen Evan Bouchard get the puck where coming in from the top of the blue line, he's got all the room in the world, and he just picks his spot. Bobrovsky, when he saved that, he had to have been, 15 feet out of the net, and not made one, but made 2 saves and then dove and covered up. The Oilers have been the better team. The Florida Panthers have capitalized. They've taken advantage of the opportunities they've had. They've made some pretty plays. The play to Barkov on the 2-on-1, that was a play where Ekholm got caught cheating, or not cheating, but he got caught pinching. And Barkov makes a nice play. The Bennett goal, that is great hands. A giveaway by Nurse, but great hands by Bennett. So the Florida Panthers have ridden the great goaltending, then taken advantage of the mistakes. I remember years ago when I was young watching the Oilers win Stanley Cups. And I remember friends that cheered for opposition. Well, you guys are only winning because of fear. I'm like, well, he is part of the team. And Bobrovsky is a big part of this Florida Panthers team. The Oilers have been, the effort has been there tonight. The opportunities have been there tonight. They have not got the save that they have needed. Not saying Skinner's let in a bad one, though he did make a mistake behind the net. But Bobrovsky has covered up a number of errors that the Panthers have made and given his team a chance with 20 minutes left to go up 3-0 in the Stanley Cup Finals.
Yeah. And but as you said, they cap. They're a great team. They got offense. Skinner missed the puck behind the net, didn't cleanly knock it down. Doesn't get back in the net in time. So we know he's not a great puck handler. There's an error there, and then it just seems something as well on that Nurse trying to get the puck. I don't know if Nurse didn't
I don't
get
know
enough on it, or Broberg misplayed it. But again, it's not a hard enough play.
No, it was
against the Panthers team.
You're right. It was a soft pass. I don't know if Nurse didn't realize he had Bennett behind him. I don't know if he misread the situation and how much trouble he was actually in when the puck came to him. I think there was a flyby in front of him. I think it was Derek Ryan cut in front of him. I don't know if that threw him off, but it shouldn't. Nurse is a very good defenseman that made an error there, and we saw how quickly that error became a goal for the Florida Panthers. And then Ekholm staying up a little too high, and they get caught on a 2-on-1. The Barkov, I think people that are watching these games starting to get an appreciation how good Barkov is. He is all world when it comes to his ability to defend the team's best players, and then when he gets his chance, he can put it in the opposition's end. This game ain't over. The Oilers need to score a goal on their power play early. I don't know how long. Is it still a 4-on-3? I don't know if it is or not.
What do they have here?
Because it was a 4-on-3 to near the end of the period. It
will be for 8 seconds.
So 8 seconds of 4-on-3. It'd be really important for the Oilers to win the faceoff. 4-on-3 is a lot more room for Leon O'Connor to play with than it is 5-on-4. But a power play that has not scored a goal in this series has missed ample opportunities to give the Oilers leads, to give them to tie up games. Now they need a power play goal to keep them in this game. And they're going to get an opportunity to start this period. And I'm not saying it's power play goal or bust.
Well, it's close. I mean, the series
but it's pretty close.
The series is in jeopardy here. 3-0 comebacks don't happen very often.
And the hard part, if you're an Oiler fan watching, when the score was 1-1, nice play by Fogle on the breakaway. And I love the fact that he shot.
Yeah.
The Oilers, once it was 1-1, they probably had about 7-8 minutes of offensive time where they had chance after chance after chance. And Bobrovsky stood on his head over and over and over again. And all it was a soft dump in that Stuart Skinner fumbled. The puck probably bounced on him, and it's in the back of the net. The Florida Panthers hadn't had a chance at that moment. And then 5 minutes later, you're down. You're looking up. It's 4-1. How did it get to 4-1 when we were playing so well? But that's why the Florida Panthers are in the Stanley Cup. That's why they have won 2 games already. This is a great hockey club that takes advantage of the opportunities they're given.
Reinhart in the first. Fogle, Tarasenko, Bennett, and Barkov in the second period. Shots read 29-18 for the Oilers. Panthers have a 4-1 advantage after 2 periods. We'll check the out-of-town scoreboard when we get back. Fort Dealers NHL Hockey on the Oilers Radio Network.
Ready to score big on your outdoor space? It's game time with Park Landscaping. Transform your backyard into a winning arena with Park Landscaping's expert team. From design to maintenance of lush lawns and state-of-the-art synthetic turf to inviting pools and captivating water features, Park Landscaping will make your outdoor space the MVP. Don't sit on the sidelines. Get in the game with Park Landscaping. Call 780-486-2744 today or email info@parklandscaping.ca.
Celebrating 70 years in the signage industry, William Huff Advertising is the most recognized name in the game. An in-house, one-stop shop for all of your design, print, and installation needs. William Huff provides quality graphic solutions for everyone. Here in our City of Champions and throughout the nation, they are the preferred signage partner entrusted by many of the biggest corporations, pro sports teams, and organizations to bring their identity to life. Recognize the name, get in the game. WilliamHuff.com.
Honey, I overloaded the washing machine and there's a mini waterfall pouring through the basement roof.
We'll fix it. Don't worry, babe.
And I might have horribly shrunk your lucky jersey.
Ouch! Life happens. Access Insurance can help. The save of the game is brought to you by Access Insurance. When Albertans need it most, they know they can count on the Access Insurance team for a huge save. It's easy to switch and save. Check out their Google reviews.
And visit accessinsurancegroup.com.
This is Global News at the second intermission. I'm Rod Kurtz. Police Chief Dale McPhee says he's getting tired of all the talk about City Council's request for an audit from EPS. The police service declined that request, and members of the Police Commission were supposed to meet with Council this week, but declined that as well. McPhee says EPS already has independent audits done on a regular basis, with the information sent directly to all 13 City Council members. Premier Danielle Smith says debt repayment is the reason Alberta's credit rating's been upgraded. The Fitch credit rating agency has boosted it from AA- to AA. Smith says the $100 billion in debt that was racked up during some rough years is now down to about $76 billion. A defense lawyer has asked an undercover officer who infiltrated the Coots border blockade whether she misinterpreted what was really going on. The officer told court that one of the two men accused of conspiring to murder police in 2022 talked about slitting the throats of police and called the Prime Minister a devil. But when the lawyer suggested the officer misinterpreted what was happening, the officer responded, no. I'm Rod Kurtz, your next scheduled newscast after the game on 6:30 CHED.
Pizza 73, the official pizza of your Edmonton Oilers. Loyal to the oil, in Edmonton we trust. Rising to the top like a pizza crust. Down to the crunch, got the flavors to play. The city of champs, going all the way. Let's go Oilers, E-Town unite. Ice District to Jasper, downtown to White. Wearing orange and blue, game on the street. Make the right call, Pizza 73. Let's go Oilers. 737373, Pizza 73.
Proudly headquartered in Edmonton, Capital Power is powering change by changing power. Be part of the energy and join Capital Power in cheering on our Edmonton Oilers. From Ice District and across oil country as they chase another championship banner. Visit capitalpower.com to learn about how they're delivering reliable and affordable power for communities today and creating innovative solutions for a clean electricity future.
Even though your 20s are behind you, you still get to have firsts. Like the first time your knee hurts after a morning run. Or the first time you felt certain muscles after a workout. Whatever your pain, Advil Liquid Gels are here for these firsts. Advil Liquid Gels provide liquid fast relief for everyday aches and pains. So you can get back to your everyday active life where firsts still happen. When pain says you can't, Advil says you can. Proud partner of the Edmonton Oilers.
At the intermission, brought to you by End of the Row Flooring Centers. Let's get flooring.
Okay, let's check the scoreboard presented by Pizza 73, official pizza of your Edmonton Oilers. CFL tonight, Ottawa leading Winnipeg 23-17. About 2 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Winnipeg does have the ball just on Ottawa's side of midfield. First round of the U.S. Open, Rory McIlroy and Patrick Cantlay tied for the lead. They both shot 5 under 65. Top Canadian is Corey Connors. He shot a 1 under 69, so he is tied for 9th place as the Oilers come out for the third period. And they got a rally here, down 4-1 to the Panthers in Game 3 of the Stanley Cup Final. Jack and Bob next. Ford Dealers NHL Hockey on the Oilers Radio Network.
At the intermission has been brought to you by End of the Roll Flooring Centers. Let's get flooring.
Live sky high with remarkable units for rent and for sale at Sky Signature Suites. Currently offering amazing incentives on 1- and 2-bedroom rentals featuring designer finishes, resort-like amenities, and breathtaking views. All of this and more within the heart of Ice District, Edmonton's best address for shopping, dining, entertainment, and fun. Visit SkySignatureSuites.com and make your home high above the ordinary.
Discover the epitome of elegance at Alberta Diamond Exchange, dedicated to crafting unforgettable moments with exquisite jewelry collections for over 2 decades. From stunning engagement rings to timeless wedding bands and anniversary treasures, the Alberta Diamond Exchange commitment extends far beyond I do. Your journey with Alberta Diamond Exchange is not just about jewelry, it's about an unparalleled experience. Check out the Aspen Glen Landing Boutique in Southwest Calgary, and for more information, head to avdiamond.ca today.
Straining to find the right home? You're going to love this. For a limited time, get back in the game with a free Oiler Fan Cave basement by Coventry Homes. This playoff package includes a free basement, plus an exclusive Oiler Fan Cave, complete with their signature customizable designs and top shelf finishes at no additional cost. Because flexibility is within reach. Coventry Homes, the official builder of the Edmonton Oilers.
You're listening to Oilers Hockey on 630 CHED and on the Radio Player Canada app.
In a season where Edmonton has seemingly behind the proverbial 8 ball for much of the year, rallying, of course, with a dramatic second-half push to easily make the playoffs and challenge for a division title, rallying with 2 elimination game victories against Vancouver, rallying against the Dallas Stars. This seems like the biggest period of the season for the Edmonton Oilers, trailing 4-1 in Game 3 of the Stanley Cup Final, already having lost the first 2. Puck drop, and Draisaitl pulls it back to Bouchard. Edmonton, remember, on the power play for the first minute 40 to start the third period, trailing 4-1. Here's McDavid in over the line. Coming on, Leon Draisaitl. Corey Perry moving to the front of the net. That's interesting, Bob. Yep. Here's the centering pass deflected out to center. Perry will now come off, be replaced by Zach Hyman. Driving in right-hand side. No, I got it. I just thought he might skate straight for the boards, but Florida fires it back in, and Edmonton's power play time down to 1:05. Here's Bouchard. Dropping it off for Leon Draisaitl. Left-hand side, deflected off McDavid's stick. Florida went right at McDavid. Big wind-up by Kulikov. Hard rim. Got through Hyman, but not Draisaitl. And the Oilers go to work on the Atco power play, which is 0 for 9 in this series. But the Panthers able to hack it back through the neutral zone. Bouchard to Draisaitl. In over the line. Leon Draisaitl fires a sharp pass off the tip of Nugent Hopkins' stick, and it's going to be cleared by Kulikov, and the Panthers are 25 seconds away from recording their 42nd kill in their last 44 opportunities, covering a 16-game stretch. Bob, they've been almost as good as the Oilers.
Yep.
Here's a drop-off for Perry. Right-hand side. McLeod can't hit the line. 10 seconds left on the man advantage. Florida on the counterattack. Reinhart with a shot that was swallowed up by Kulak. The puck flicked up to Ryan McLeod. Now Cody Ceci onto the ice. Ekblad steps out, having served his hooking minor. Ceci squeezed off the puck as he entered the zone. Florida back to 5-on-5. Sam Reinhart races over. Fogle on him. Barkov wheels it up the right-hand side and out. CC collects with 2 minutes gone by in this third period. The score 4-1 Florida in Game 3. The Panthers having won games 1 and 2 by scores of 3-0 and 4-1. Here's Warren Fogle driving in left-hand side. Checked by Montour. Sam Bennett will turn and give it up for Carter Verhaeghe. And it's a counterattack for Florida. Verhaeghe pulls up, waits, dishes down low to Matthew Tkachuk. Back to Verhaeghe. And that was dislodged from Verhaeghe by Warren Fogle. Played up the right-hand side by Connor Brown. And quickly moved up the left-hand side and back down low in the corner. Under control, Connor Brown from the goal line. Beautiful pass. Nurse shoots! And that was blocked. Never reached Sergei Bobrovsky. A lot of traffic in front, but he couldn't thread it through. And now Florida the other way. Verhaeghe makes certain it gets deep into the zone. Tkachuk finishes his check, and it's Connor Brown tipping it up to Darnell Nurse. In over the line. Nurse will shoot it in. The Florida Panthers, President's Trophy winners 2 years ago. Stanley Cup finalists last year. And now in the Stanley Cup Final and poised to take a commanding 3-0 lead. Only one team has ever rallied from a 3-0 deficit in the Stanley Cup Final. Was the 1942 Toronto Maple Leafs, who trailed Detroit 3-0. Here's McLeod, a centering pass off a skate, and Bobrovsky will fall on it. We've played 3.5 minutes, and Bob, Edmonton's 20 minutes to live is down to 16:37. The Oilers get one shot. They've outshot the Panthers 30-18. They've done a lot of things right, but they're 0 for 10 on the power play, and Florida seemingly has made Edmonton pay dearly for every mistake.
And there's no question, if you take a look at the A-grade scoring opportunities in this game, it's probably around 8-4 for Edmonton, and they got 4 goals. And Jack, you talk about how good the Florida penalty killing's been. Who needs to be your best penalty killer?
The goaltender.
Usually the goaltender. Edmonton's penalty killing has given up so few A-grade looks, but Bobrovsky's just been stellar.
Off the draw, blasted wide by Matthias Ekholm. And that's going to be picked up and shot in deep, but ultimately went off the glass and out of play as Sam Reinhart put it out of play inadvertently. In case you're wondering, the Panthers are 67-0-4 in their last 71 games when leading after 2 periods. The last time they blew a 3-goal lead in the third period was actually November of 22. So November of last season, as St. Louis rallied and came back to win 5-4 in overtime. So the Oilers looking for similar heroics. So believe it or not, this current juggernaut has coughed up a 3-goal third period lead relatively recently. Hyman ahead to Fogle. Sends it ahead. Darnell Nurse activating. Chipping it down low. Nugent Hopkins trying to crowd, but the Panthers will break out. Clear by Reinhart. Gathering. Fogle. Philip Broberg now. Up the gut. Fogle pulled himself offside. 15:54 to play in the third.
Well, now they're shrink wrapping again out there. Well,
Bob, you made a very astute point at the end of game 1. You said, you know what? Edmonton outplayed Florida tonight, but from about the 28-minute mark on, the Panthers started to find their game, and it really hasn't left them.
You thought that we might see Corey Perry get a look at some point. McDavid and Draisaitl with Perry out here.
Yeah, this is the all-MVP line. And we've got an icing call whistled against Florida, so they're going to get a look at an offensive zone draw here.
Problem is, Edmonton's not winning faceoffs, and Florida's a team that can knock you on your ass and off the puck when they do lose a little bit of possession with the puck.
Florida 57% through 2 periods.
Barkov is 9-4. It's Bennett out there right now, a sub 50% guy. What a player he is in the playoffs.
Perry in the slot against Tkachuk. McDavid to Draisaitl's left. Ekholm and Bouchard out defensively. Chris Knobloch is emptying the holster here, Bob. We're going to look at a lot of different combinations. Draw one by Draisaitl. Perry feeds the point. Now McDavid goes to work against Forsling. Short side to Ekholm, top of the right circle. Gets it back from Bouchard. Puck in his feet. Bouchard, snapshot, blocked in front. Panthers with a chance to clear, and they do. Chipping it back to the red line. Bennett and Verhaeghe smartly get it in deep, and that actually rolls over the short glass and tumbles into about the 4th row with 15:25 to go in this third period. And the Panthers still in command at 4-1, looking to take a 3-0 lead and have an opportunity to close out Edmonton Saturday night when Bob and I bring you Game 4 of the Stanley Cup Final. We'll have it for you at 6:20 Mountain Time.
Well, this has been a textbook road performance from Florida, who are a great road team. And they're a great road team because they got excellent goaltending, and they can defend, and they play with structure and process. And the Oilers have got, I think Edmonton's been gifted 2 power plays in this game, Jack. They got pretty good looks on their first 2. They got nothing going in their third one.
Lundell, a clear up the left-hand side to Vladimir Tarasenko, cuts to the middle and then relieved of the puck. 6-time 30-goal scorer on your third line, and he has the go-ahead goal in this game. Weaving his way through the middle of the ice was Janmark, shot in by Ceci. Kulikov up the right-hand boards, Lundell, and Florida breaks out with ease. Ekman-Larsson will shoot it in, and once again, the Panthers will change and roll over the lines. 5 minutes gone by in this third period. Still a lot of time left, but a 4-1 deficit. And now an Edmonton turnover. Kyle Opozo going to work. Cuts back in front. Shoots off the mask of Skinner. And the rebound covered by the Edmonton goaltender. Stuart Skinner will work on that mask a little bit. He makes his 15th save on 19 Florida shots tonight. 14:37 left in regulation. Panthers, when they won the President's Trophy, they had the misfortune of playing Tampa in the second round, lost in 6.
And they loaded up that year, traded away a number 1 in 2022 and a number 1 in 2023 to get Sherratt and Giroux. And then they traded away a number 1 in 2024 to get Tkachuk. After the Oilers eliminated.
That's worked out fairly well for them.
I'd say
face-off win.
If you're Calgary, maybe don't trade with Florida anymore.
Here's Broberg, right-hand side. Leon Draisaitl at center. In over the line. Puck hacked out of his feet. Broberg there to follow it up. Still a lot of time here. Perry out there with McDavid and Draisaitl. Perry has it stripped. Chance for Verhaeghe to clear. Can't get it done. Broberg sneakily down low to Corey Perry. This time he locates Darnell Nurse. Back to Perry within the trapezoid. Nurse left circle. A shot save. Bobrovsky rebound. McDavid in front. Broberg fires and scores. Edmonton's back in the game. It's 4-2 with 13:58 to play.
Philip Broberg's going to get a second goal. The Oilers work a short cycle. Corey Perry back behind the goal. He helped free the puck up. McDavid centered it to the short side. I'm trying to figure out. I think did that get him? I wonder did
it either got Bobrovsky or did it hit a teammate in the back? Did it hit Perry in the back?
Or did it hit Perry in the glove?
No, it hit Bobrovsky's left glove and went in.
It's a good goal.
Broberg, his second of the postseason from McDavid. And we've got a game. 4-2, still lots of time remaining. And it's strange. Bobrovsky. Oh, no, it went off the elbow. It went off the elbow of his own player, Bobrovsky's own player. Whoever was tracking Perry, it might have gone off of Mikkola. I think it went off of Nico Mikkola's right elbow. That's how it found its way into the net.
And there's a lesson in that. Just put it to the net.
That wasn't even on net. It was toward the net. It went in off of Mikkola. Broberg from McDavid at 6:02.
What is the delay here?
Not sure, but very much game on here with lots of time left. I was just going to say, you'd like to get one before the 10-minute mark, and the Oilers do exactly that. This is taking an eternity.
Is it? Are they saying it's from the confetti?
It's possible. Lundell, a face-off against Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. And obviously, with McDavid, Draisaitl, and Perry connecting on the goal that's brought Edmonton within 4-2, you're going to see that combo the rest of the game. Shoveled back towards center. Bouchard shrugged Luo Starine into the ice. Panthers are able to work it through the middle. Off the right-hand side, Zach Hyman will dump it in. Bobrovsky to cover with 13:39 to go in the third period. Not that you were considering it, but do not go anywhere. We got a lot of game left. Florida's lead is down to 4-2. We told you this team has coughed up a 3-goal third period lead as recently as November of 2022. We're back to Rogers Place with more live coverage of Game 3 of the Stanley Cup Final. Panthers up 4-2. The Oilers Radio Network.
There's only one line of trucks that's outsold all others for 58 years. Only one with the available Power Boost hybrid engine on select models that delivers performance and efficiency. It's the truck that all others are measured by. You know the one. Tough this smart can only be called F-150. Right now, lease the 2024 F-150 STX with black appearance package at 2.49% APR for up to 24 months with 4,800 down. That's just $228 bi-weekly. Visit your Alberta Ford store or Ford.ca for details.
International Union of Operating Engineers, Local 955, is one of Alberta's largest and most diverse union locals in the province. Members work in everything from construction and maintenance to pipelines, renewables, healthcare, education, municipalities, and more. They are a big part of Alberta's past and will be a big part of Alberta's future. Apprenticeship, jobs, pension. That's IUOE Local 955. Visit joinustoday.ca to learn more, and let's go Oilers.
From the biggest stadiums to the coziest holes in the wall. From house parties to porch hangs to pride celebrations. From your favorite fuzz shop to your local Indian spot. From noodle bars to sports bars to salsa bars. There's a Molson with your name on it. Canadian Ultra XL. Molson. Everyone in. Must be legal drinking age.
Listen on air, online, and on the Radio Player Canada app.
This is the Oilers Radio Network.
Crowd but most certainly back in the game as Edmonton is pulled within 4-2. Still a healthy 13:39 remain on the game clock. Game 3 of the Stanley Cup Final. The Oilers trailed 4-1 entering the final period. Failed to capitalize on a power play, but have pulled within 4-2 on Philip Broberg, second of the postseason. Also had one in the Dallas series, chipped in deep by Sam Reinhart. Now Evan Bouchard with a crowd roaring. Bouchard to center. He'll steer it in deep. Panthers can't get it, and Bobrovsky has to fall on it. And Edmonton now funneling that emotion from the crowd, using it to its advantage, trying to get the Panthers further on their heels. They've outshot them 32-19. And Bobrovsky, for the first time on that little play, Bob, looked a little human as he let that puck get into the blue paint without kind of covering it much earlier. Nugent-Hopkins between Foegele and Hyman. Edmonton has switched up its top six. You'll see Perry with McDavid and Draisaitl. Off the draw, dropped off to Montour. Battles through a check from Nugent-Hopkins. Barkov nudges it back inside the Edmonton blue line. Here's Warren Foegele dropping for Evan Bouchard. Crowd in an absolute uproar. They've been waiting 18 years for this. Bouchard, are they going to give him center? No. Well, you know what, Bob? I didn't like that play from Evan Bouchard. Take another half stride.
He's had a tough game. He's had a tough couple games, Jack. He's logged a lot of minutes.
Yeah, that's a good call. I mean, he was not that close.
Sometimes you get the call. Bottom line is, on the first goal, I mean, Barkov did a great job in terms of protecting the puck, after Bouchard had a bobble. I mean, the Oilers had 3 misplays that led to their first 3 goals against, Jack.
Sam Bennett off the draw, and as you said, you can't give anyone anything in this round. Not in this round. Here's Foegele. Punched away. Aaron Ekblad defending Foegele, and the puck deflects out of play into the protective mesh in the corner, and a faceoff will be to Bobrovsky's left. 12:52 in the game. Florida playing for just the second time outside the Eastern time zone since late January. Paul Maurice kind of shrugged that off, saying, it's a one-off. I mean, it's no big deal. Florida waited around. There was stormy weather. They did not come up on Tuesday as Edmonton did after Game 2. Didn't really get into their hotel rooms until close to 9 o'clock local time last night, and the players were pretty matter-of-fact about it. Ekblad in particular said, what are we talking about here? Up the left-hand side, that's going to be an icing call off the draw with McDavid, Draisaitl, and Perry on the ice. And once again, that top line of Edmonton will get another look here.
They're not winning draws, Josh. Now we think Leon Draisaitl is playing compromise really since game number 1 of the Vancouver series.
But the Panthers have shrunken a little bit, Bob. They're not doing anything. And, taking icing calls, I mean, this is something Edmonton can seize on here. Bennett wins another draw. To your point, you'd love to mix in a face-off win. Panthers working around the left-hand boards. Verhaeghe stymied at center. McDavid with a giveaway at the red line. Shot in by Matthew Tkachuk. Verhaeghe first on the puck. Carries behind the net. Now looks for a teammate. Flashes it back behind. Nurse able to cut it off. Verhaeghe sets it level for Aaron Ekblad. Fed along to Sam Bennett in the left-hand corner. Bennett, a terrific playoff player. Gives it up for Matthew Tkachuk. His shot on net. Saves Skinner. Rebound spilled into the slot. Taken by Philip Broberg, who just scored moments ago to pull Edmonton within 4-2. Misplay by Forsling and Corey Perry. Now to Leon Draisaitl on the right half boards. Florida trying to double team, and instead Forsling lets it go through to Ekblad. It's snapped ahead, and the Panthers will break out. Tkachuk swung it off the boards. It will die and not be whistled for icing. Draisaitl able to gather, and here's Cody Ceci. He'll shoot it in from center. Partially deflected. Adam Henrique takes Montour against the boards. Up the right-hand side. Lundell did not get a clear. Heading for the net through Tarasenko, but now Lou Starinen, the third layer of defense, second effort, musters a clear to center. Lundell gets it back from Tarasenko, then gives it to Tarasenko, who fires it wide. Boy, he could still shoot the puck.
All day.
Montour racing after it, came out the far side, and Henrique's able to bottle him up a good little bit. His former teammate in Anaheim. Here's Cece getting inside and forcing it toward the net. 11-11, Make-A-Wish, third period. And Sergei Bobrovsky forced to freeze it with Florida leading by a count of 4-2 in this Game 3 of the best-of-7 Stanley Cup Final.
Well, think about this, Jack. The Oilers got 2 shots on goal in the first, I guess technically 3. They stripped Edmonton one late in the second, but they played 8.5 minutes here, and Edmonton's only been able to get the pill on goal 3 times, and really they were missing the net on the one shot. Rare shift here for Derek Ryan. He's got 2 fast guys with him, Holloway and McLeod. They can jet.
And he wins a faceoff. Boom! Broberg with the shot. And that drifts wide. Rebound taken by Barkov and spun back inside the Edmonton blue line. Derek Ryan with a faceoff win there, Bob. And you're right. I mean, Oilers, especially in the O zone, haven't won enough of those either. Oilers flash their way through the neutral zone. Here's McLeod. Back to the point. Broberg fires again off Bobrovsky. And the rebound taken and cleared by Ekman-Larsson. And that dribbles through Broberg. Are they going to call that icing? No. Barkov gets back down low. Continues to work over Broberg. Ryan up the right-hand side for Ryan McLeod. Puck dies at the Florida blue line. And Opozo will lay it off for Gustav Forsling. Opozo recalled, Bob, the 2013 series. We talked about that year earlier in that playoff round. He played Pittsburgh, and he remembers the Nassau Coliseum shaking and expected a similar atmosphere tonight in Edmonton with a much newer and nicer building. Although you and I love the broadcast location.
Great place to call a game from, Jack.
Here's Bouchard off the dump in. A shot by Tkachuk off a turnover from a sharp angle. And then Mikkola with a misplay, and the Oilers might have something here. Outlet pass. Hyman overran the play. And Fogle and Nugent-Hopkins will have to peel back onside as Bouchard hits Ekholm. He's denied entry at the Florida blue line. 9:45 remaining in the third. Panthers trying to lock this one down. They've got a 4-2 lead. Edmonton has 1 goal here in the third period. Remember, coming in the last 9 games, the Oilers have been outscored 13-1 in the third period. So they're off the schneid here in the final frame, but they need 2 more. Draisaitl, cross ice, coming over the line. Perry poked it back, and then Bouchard got it to McDavid. He's loose, driving the net, and a backhander flipped wide. Mikkola got back in McDavid's path. Montour thunders in on the check, and the Panthers break out. Now it's a 2-on-1. Sam Reinhart tried to give it up. That was broken up. Tried to get it to Rodriguez. Kept alive by Barkov. And now Bouchard rolls back to Kulak, and there's a subtle play by Barkov. Could have been a 3-on-1 going the other way. Barkov able to break it up, and now Forsling steps up, interferes with a pass, and keeps it in the Edmonton zone. Luostarinen in front, quick shot. Tarasenko had it blocked by Kulak. A key shot block. Obviously, you cannot give up a 5th goal if you're Edmonton. Lundell a steal. Moves it, and quickly a shot deflected up on the plexi. And the Panthers all of a sudden have the Oilers a bit bottled up here over the last 40 seconds. Luostarinen gives way to Ekblad. It's swung around the boards with 8.5 minutes to go in regulation. And the Panthers leading the Edmonton Oilers 4-2 in Game 3.
McDavid, Draisaitl, and Perry, they got to get off the ice. They got hemmed up in there pretty good.
And they do get off the ice as Forsling takes a leisurely skate back in his own zone. Time running. Tkachuk made sure to get it in deep for Hagee. Hard pressure on Broberg. Up the right-hand side. Panthers swarming Matthias Janmark for Hagee. Digging. Raked free by Darnell Nurse, who had a second assist on the Broberg goal that has pulled Edmonton within 4-2. But here he just wallops it down the left-hand side. That'll be an icing call as the Panthers draw the whistle with 7:53 remaining in the third period of a game where Edmonton has outshot Florida 33-22. But trails by a count of 4-2, and at no point tonight have the Oilers held the lead. Three goals in a span of 6 minutes and 19 seconds in the second period for Florida. And will it prove decisive? Off the draw, Connor Brown. Soft chip into the Florida zone. Carefully recovered by Ekman-Larsson. He'll lay it off the left-hand glass. You've got former All-Stars like Ekman-Larsson and Tarasenko in supportive roles. A deflection by Stephen Lawrence. Glanced off the side of the Edmonton net. And now Stenlund will put it down low. Lawrence keeps it for Kyle Opozo. He's checked by Enrique. Stenlund back to the point. Shot Montour and a save made. Stuart Skinner. Opozo is able to pull his stick free, get it to Stephen Lawrence. Wound along the end boards by Stanley. And this is an effective shift, Bob, turned in by Florida's fourth line.
They've had 3 in a row. Edmonton hasn't been able to get anything going in the O-zone.
Montour to Reinhart, flipped into the offensive zone as we go inside 7 minutes to play. Matthias Janmark checked by Rodriguez, and now you've got Bouchard twisting it free. Janmark will have to reset. Florida determined to not let Edmonton attack them with speed, but Janmark will. Beautiful dish. Shot at Coleman. That was blocked at the last moment. They had a man going hard to the net, Zach Hyman, but it never got there. Shot from distance and a save by Skinner from the blue line against Evan Rodriguez. Florida wants a change. In the meantime, Nugent Hopkins against Tarasenko. He's forced to regroup. 6.5 minutes to play in the third period. 4-2. Florida over Edmonton. Oilers got a bounce for that second goal. Now they need another one. Tarasenko drops it inside the Edmonton blue line. Bouchard to Ekholm. Right-hand side for Hyman. Puck pulled free. Panthers steer it back in. Hard forecheck. Lundell knows he's offside, but Luostarinen was able to evacuate and then get it right back down low into the Oiler end. Absorb a check from Nugent Hopkins. Lundell there with support. Ekholm with Tkachuk tracking. Back to Montour. Fed along the boards, and Florida will make another change with 5:45 left in this hockey game. Here's McDavid back onto the ice. Dancing to Draisaitl. Double team. Puck loose in the slot. Panthers fail to clear. Montour didn't get it done. Hacked free, and now you've got a chance. If you're the Edmonton Oilers, you've got McLeod trying to feed Ceci. He's able to keep it alive for McLeod one more time. Now McDavid and Draisaitl work the right half boards. Florida trying to box Edmonton out. Shot, score! Kulak through a screen, Bobrovsky, and it's down to 4-3 with 5:17 to play. McLeod, I believe, with a tip.
Well, you never know here. Oilers got a lot of speed on that line, and Draisaitl emptied for McDavid back to the point, long-range bomber. Great deflection by Ryan McLeod. He needed that one. Game on, Jeff.
McDavid threw it out to Kulak, and what a tip by Ryan McLeod. I mean, you couldn't have placed it in there any better. And it's now 4-3. The Panthers seemingly with this game wrapped up, but the Oilers, as they've done all season, refuse to go quietly. It's 4-3, and the crowd once again electric. Face-off win by Adam Henrique. Edmonton shoots it in and pours it back into the zone. Here's Ceci. Shot blocked in the high slot. Kept alive. Mishandled by Kulak. Then down low, Ekblad comes over and hoists it back through the middle. Less than 5 minutes to play. Score is 4-3 now. Lundell sees Barkov make a steal. Reinhart, a snapshot deflected over the high glove of Stuart Skinner. And the Panthers swarm in on the forecheck. Freed up for Janmark. Breakout pass to Connor Brown. I think that's a mistake. McDavid was the man who set up Kulak, not Draisaitl. They announced that Draisaitl
it'll change
underneath, up the middle, and now you've got a recovery by Luostarinen. He'll shoot it, and Skinner to knock it down. With still 4:25 to play in the hockey game. A lot of time left. Here's Broberg, angled pass to Draisaitl. Back on the ice with McLeod and McDavid. Here's McDavid looking for the tie. Left circle, dancing, centering. What a save! Bobrovsky on McLeod. I don't know how he stopped that one. Here's Nurse to McDavid. Frenzied atmosphere inside Rogers Place. All of a sudden, the Panthers hanging on. Luostarinen ahead to Lundell. His backhander sails wide. And off that miss, it's going to be slugged back in by Forsling. Bobrovsky, a spectacular robbery of Ryan McLeod, point blank. Here's McDavid building speed with 3:45 to go. Flashing down the left wing, and he'll shoot it around the boards. Loose in the corner. Matthew Tkachuk trying to free himself up against Zach Hyman, who's now on the ice. So it's Hyman, McDavid, and Draisaitl. Here's Ekholm back down low. Hyman curls in front and swung it just wide. He tried to wrap around. Bouchard faked the slapper, and then Draisaitl missed the net from the right corner. It glanced off the corner boards and past Ekholm, and now we've got 3:15 on the game clock, and Edmonton's top line wants a change. Maybe the last of the game for them. Ekholm, a dart down the middle. Fogle defended. The Panthers pry it loose. Mikkola up the right-hand side. Rodriguez. He got jammed up. Mikkola swing and a miss, trying to get it out. Panthers will break it out. Ekblad to lead a 3-on-2. He'll shoot it in from center ice around the boards. Reinhart tried to push it back to Ekblad. He's going to have to back off, and the Oilers lay it ahead. Fogle to Brown, a backhander and a poke check by Bobrovsky ahead of Nugent-Hopkins. Still loose in the corner with 2:40 to play. The Oilers swarming the Florida Panthers, hanging on, pulsating Stanley Cup action here. Ceci will move it, and now it's Janmark. Chopped down, crowd screaming for a call, none forthcoming. Panthers have the puck, and moving up ice, and chipping it in deep was Evan Rodriguez. 2:15 to play, and the Oilers bring their top players out for a final burst. A turnover at center, shot back in by Lundell, grabbed by Kulak, whose shot was tipped in by McLeod moments ago to turn this into an absolute carnival-like atmosphere. No icing. Panthers look to clear up the left-hand side. They get it done. Ceci moves it to Draisaitl, then rocketed back to Kulak with 1:55 to play in the hockey game. Game 3 of the Stanley Cup Final in the balance. Here's McDavid jitterbugging his way in, but offside with 1:49 to play in the third period. Florida 4, Edmonton 3. Game 3 of the Stanley Cup Final. You had a feeling it could not end other way besides this frenzied, tumultuous final 2 minutes. And Ryan McLeod robbed by the left pad of Sergei Bobrovsky. And now Edmonton may want to talk it over. We've got a timeout on the ice.
Well, you got to know what you're going to do here. Oh, they just showed the flat play.
On Janmark, taken down. Now, the Oilers do have 3 of the game's 4 power plays, but that was a penalty. It's, and again, there was Reinhart was chopped by Ekholm with a score, I think, 4-1 at the time, and they didn't call that. I mean, there's going to be missed calls.
Bottom line, the difference in this game right now is 2 giveaways by Edmonton on the second and third, but you still got
1:49 to go.
Yep.
Skinner's still in the pipes. Neutral zone faceoff. Draisaitl won it, but we're going to do it again. Draisaitl, McDavid, and Hyman here with Bouchard and Ekholm. So the reliable 5 that Chris Knobloch has utilized in this kind of situation all year long. 1:49 to go. Barkov comes up with a face-off win. It's golfed up ice by Ekblad. Smacked down by Bouchard. He hands off to Ekholm with 1:40 to go. Game 3 of the Stanley Cup Final. It's Florida 4, Edmonton 3. Panthers trying to go up 3-0. The Oilers trying to complete a miraculous comeback here in the third period where they trailed 4-1. Bouchard to McDavid. He'll drop it off to Ekholm. Wound around. Draisaitl protects. Bouchard is able to maintain the zone. Back down low through McDavid, who then receives a pass from Hyman. Behind the net, disrupted by Ekblad, but there's Ekholm with 1:10 to play. A hard pass up to Nugent-Hopkins. 6-on-5. Skinner is on the bench. Here's a shot. Deflected. Clubbed down the middle of the ice. Rolling wide of the net. Hit the post. And this will be icing against Florida as the Panthers missed by about half an inch from wrapping up Game 3. That did not miss by much. And we've seen some long-range empty netters from Florida already in this series. Now we've got a timeout coming. And it obviously starts with a face-off win for Edmonton. 61 seconds to go. Forsling fired it down the middle and just caught the outside of the left goalpost. And I can't help but think, Bob, about that women's Olympic gold medal battle where the U.S. kissed the post with a chance to put Canada away. Team Canada rallied to tie, won the game and the gold medal in OT. Can the Oilers find a way to get the equalizer with the Florida Panthers that close to victory and a stranglehold on this Stanley Cup final? Again, only once, 1942, as a team rallied from 3-0 down. So it's McDavid, it's Draisaitl, it's Nugent-Hopkins, it's Zach Hyman.
Florida's won.
It's Ekholm and Bouchard.
52.5% of the draws.
6 on 5. Well, Edmonton's been better in the third. Here's Draisaitl lining up. And he wins the faceoff against Reinhart cleanly. Ekholm, high slot, moves it to Nugent-Hopkins. Back to Ekholm, one-timer! Blocked, rebound, shot toward the net, and missing. And Barkov, that time, had lots of time, elected to go for the empty net.
Got to get pucks
and
through.
missed badly, 50 seconds to go. Boy, will the Florida captain think about that, Bob. I mean, Barkov normally a little more poised there.
12-7 on draws, John.
But it's not Barkov. It's Reinhart against Draisaitl. Reinhart won the faceoff. Ekblad shoots it hard up the right-handed glass. Florida pressure forces Edmonton to reload in the neutral zone. 40 seconds to play in Game 3. Bouchard followed up ice by Reinhart. The Oilers left to right, looking for the equalizer. Draisaitl hits the line with speed, lays it off, got chopped down, no penalty called. Florida freezes the puck along the end boards. It's chipped back to Bouchard. Hard pressure. Bouchard able to maintain. Now Ekblad freezing with 20 seconds to play. The Panthers had the puck trapped in the corner. The Oilers raking, digging, carving, chiseling, and finally freeing it up. Ekblad determined, 10 seconds, has it back, trapped in the corner. The Oilers pull it free. It sails through the neutral zone, and Florida's going to hang on and win this game 4-3. And the Panthers have taken a 3-0 lead in this best-of-7 Stanley Cup final. And I have been critical of Aaron Ekblad in this series, Bob, but he played that final 30 seconds perfectly. I mean, he killed 30 seconds essentially by himself.
At the end of the day, Jack, the Oilers only got 6 shots on goal here in the third period. They put pucks in the net from a couple defensemen and got some ricochets to get themselves back in a game. And I'm with you on Ekblad. I mean, the only thing I'd say is he's so strong there, you got to run him. And the Oilers couldn't, and he did a great job fending off pucks. And it's Hudson's Bay rules in the final minute.
Yes.
Right? And you might have gotten away with it.
Oh, he didn't. It wasn't might have. Ekblad got away with a trip, and then he's not there to kill the remaining 30 seconds.
So you know what?
Ryan Lomberg and Nick Cousins among the healthy scratches for the Florida Panthers, greeting their teammates after a massive road win.
It was a massive road win, but it's a massive road win because of one guy. And that's Sergei Bobrovsky. Because when this game was, Edmonton did a great job rallying. They had a hell of a third period. They got a couple goals. Well, you're going to have to score. There's a lesson in how they scored. Put the puck towards the net. And the reality of the situation is Florida has not given up. If you had told me, Jack, the Oilers would have 10 10 or 11 power plays now.
They're 0 for 10.
They're 0 for 10 in the series.
Yes.
That's a huge difference.
But, Bob, I think your greater point is the one that we take away from this game. In the Stanley Cup final round, you can't hand out gimmies.
And they gave 2 goals away. At least 2. I think you look at the execution on the 4-on-4 goal, and Bouchard has the puck. It was a difficult pass. Put him in a tough spot. But
their guys can play too, is I think what you're saying. They've got a good foursome.
They got a good foursome on and they executed a great play. But after Fogle scores, you got all the momentum in the building, and you're taking it to him for 5 or 6 minutes. You can't, if you're Stuart Skinner, you can't give up the puck there to Losterrain, and it's an easy tap in for Tarasenko. And then on the heels of that, 4 minutes later, Darnell Nurse turns the puck over in a tight confine against a guy that can really make plays. Matthew Tkachuk can really make plays, and he freed it up for Bennett, open look. And then they executed another with their top end guys on the ice. A tremendous 4-way passing play to create the 4-1 goal. So, look, they made 2 great plays to score 2 even-strength beauties, but the Oilers handed them 2 goals in this game. And if they don't hand them the 2 goals in this game, they win the game. And therein lies the rub for Edmonton. So now they're in a world of hurt. They're down 3-0. Now, can they build on the third period that they had here and got a couple goals?
I actually didn't mind. Look at their second period. I think the point you're making is Florida's cashed in on Edmonton's mistakes, and when the Panthers have made blunders in their own end, Sergei Bobrovsky seemingly has bailed them out every time.
Yeah.
I mean, and you're right. They got Edmonton did get a couple in the third, so you break through a little bit. You get 3 past them, and I think that's the point you're making. But I also think it's fair to say that, I mean, in 2 of the 3 games, the Oilers haven't been outplayed by the Panthers.
It's been Bob.
It's been Sergei Bobrovsky.
Bobbed again.
Bobbed again. I know what it's like to be bobbed. In any event.
It's only happened about 1,200 times over the last 14 seasons.
We are getting up there all of a sudden. What about Game 4? I mean, you outshoot this club 35-23.
You did what you need.
You do a lot of things right. Are there substitutions or lineup changes to be made that you'd strongly consider if you're Christoph?
I'd roll back the same lineup.
Okay.
You had 35 shots on goal in this game.
Yeah.
You played good.
And
just manage the puck better.
Yeah.
It sucks for Oilers fans to hear this. I'm going to tell you right now, Skinner's going to handle a puck better in 2 years from now than he does right now. He's going to have a better glove hand because he works at his craft. He's 25.
Crowd was going at that time, and that giveaway
that sucked the life and the energy.
It triggered a 3-goal outburst in 6:19.
And the team, like they have all year long, didn't. A couple things have happened here. I mean, the Oilers gave away the 2 goals, and the Oilers cannot break through in the power play. They can't get through in the power play, and they need it. And right now, Florida's outscored Edmonton 1-0 in special teams.
So wait, are you suggesting that goaltending and special teams have been crucial in a Stanley Cup final?
I would say they've probably played a direct result.
Yeah.
If
we always say it in the regular season, we always say goaltending and special teams.
What did Stuart Skinner do for Edmonton in Game 4 against the LA Kings and in Game 6 against the Dallas Stars?
Absolutely,
he stole 2 games. In which Edmonton
and he's going to have to steal if Edmonton's going to make history here. He's going to have to steal at least one.
Probably 2. But I think
he might need to do 2.
It's got to be stated. What were the shots in the first game? 32-18 for the Oilers. And today they're 35-23.
Right. They've outplayed them in 2 of the 3 games, but again, in both games,
the number 1 star has been the Guardian on the other team.
Correct, and in both games, the power play
did not break through.
We're 0 for 3.
And
both games 0 for 3, and again, it's not. You have to live with that in the sense that ultimately 5-on-5 play is going to push you over the top. But in a tight series where there's not much separation, a power play can make the difference.
Think of the sequence where McDavid tries to jam it through the wickets. That's what he did. He tried to jam that short side off of Bobrovsky, off of himself. It goes right to McLeod, point-blank look, and Bobrovsky's able to fight off McLeod's shot. He could have had 2 goals in a span of 2 shifts. This place would have gone nuts, and instead now Edmonton's down 3-0.
That was the save Florida needed, and he made it. And it was a brilliant setup, and McLeod...
Not to mention, like, in the...
in the first period... And quite frankly, in the second period, as you pointed out, second period, the Oilers outshoot the Panthers 16-8, and yet they're outscored 3-1.
Yeah.
I mean, that's significant. Bob, one final word in terms of, how do you fight through the mental barrier here over the next 48 hours? You're down 3-0. Everyone knows the statistics. Now, in recent years, these players would have watched live as Philadelphia came back on Boston and LA came back on San Jose. But realistically, all right, you've heard and, you probably know at some level, is this it? The series over. So how do you fight through that and get ready for Game 4? Get your headspace right.
Well, I mean, I think there is one advantage. You get a chance to go right back out there and play. Like, we're only,
You don't have to wait 2 days.
You're not waiting 2 days.
Right.
That's number 1. Number 2, you try to build on the third period that you have.
In terms of getting goals past them, at least.
And how you skated and got your feet moving and how you attacked a little bit, right? I mean, overall, it was a pretty good performance. There's a lot to like in the game. But at this stage, it's solely about the results. It is not about the process, Jack.
Well, and we said going into the series, what did we say? You've got to be prepared to play a Stanley Cup final where you're going to play well and lose because you're in the championship round,
and that other
team
that's what's happening.
Is damn good.
They are, and that's what's happened in 2 of the 3 games right now, right? And unfortunately for the Oilers, some of their support, some of their secondary A-listers, Hyman, frankly, Draisaitl, And
Draisaitl doesn't have a point in the series.
Hyman and Nugent Hopkins, right? And those guys were cooking again, but they're on that first unit power play that's sitting at 0 for 10. So, well, we'll have to see what sort of juice Edmonton brings on. I mean, they're going to exhaust the tank. We know that. They're playing a team that has been there before. And, Jack, I got to tell you, I know Chris Knobloch said, hey, the Buffalo Bills were there 4 times. There's a degree of truth to that. You look, Florida probably thought they were good enough to win the Cup in 2022. They traded 2 number 1s away to go on that run.
And they finished first overall.
And they got beat by Tampa Bay in
2-time defending champion.
6-game series.
Right.
So the Oilers lost to Colorado in 2022. They lost to Vegas in 2023. If they can't come back in this series,
they're going to lose to the eventual champ 3 years in a row.
Right, and you got to learn from it every step of the way, and it sucks, and no one wants to hear it. At the end of the day, they had a good game, but it is simply about the result, and they didn't get the result, and they're going to have to dig in like they never dug in before now.
Bob, the one thing I want to hear from you on Saturday night is where's my meal money for Game 5? Is that fair?
All right.
That's the one thing I want to hear from you on Saturday night is at the end of the game, I want you to shake me down for an envelope.
All right. You already got it.
I said Saturday night.
I will.
All right. He's Bob Stauffer. I'm Jack Michaels. Again, gallant in defeat, but again, that's of little solace to the Edmonton Oilers and the 18,347 who stream out of Rogers Place tonight after a 4-3 setback. Sergei Bobrovsky has now won 6 consecutive games as he turns aside 32 of 35 to raise his postseason record to 15-5. This is a guy that was 17-29 and the backup heading into last year's Stanley Cup playoffs. Backing up Alex Lyon, who's not going to remind anyone of Carey Price or, for that matter, Jacques Plante anytime soon. But now all of a sudden, over the last 2 postseasons, you're talking about a guy who's 27-11, and he outduels Stuart Skinner. Skinner tonight faced 23 shots and stopped 19. He sees his postseason record this postseason slide to 11-8, 16-14 for his career. For the Oilers, they got the secondary scoring. Fogle, Broberg, McLeod, and it still wasn't enough against the Florida Panthers. Bob and I talked about it earlier in the series. They can win games 2-0. They can also find a way to outscore you if they need to. And tonight, Florida's 3 goals in a span of 6:19 with Barkov registering the eventual game winner proves to be the difference as they hang on by the slimmest of margins. A 4-1 lead after 2 turns into a 4-3 final and brings Florida within 1 victory of the franchise's first ever Stanley Cup. For the Oilers, Saturday night, they'll start the game with 60 minutes to live. We'll have it for you. 6:20 Mountain start on Saturday night. It'll be Game 4 of the Stanley Cup Final with the Florida Panthers looking to raise the cup and the Oilers looking to extend their season to a Game 5, which would be played Tuesday night back in Sunrise. So until Saturday, when I'm sure the crowd will be back in Rogers Place, downtown will be absolutely swamped. We're going to sign off for now. For Bob Stauffer, Reed Wilkins, Rob Brown, this is Jack Michaels saying good night from Rogers Place. Game 3 of the Stanley Cup Final goes to Florida. The final score, 4-3. Ladies and gentlemen, the pleasure was all ours. The Rogers Postgame show starts right now.
Exclusive live interviews, expert analysis, and game highlights. This is the Rogers Postgame show. Once again, here's Bob Stauffer on the Oilers Radio Network.
Now McDavid and Draisaitl work the right half boards. Florida trying to box Edmonton out. Shot, score! Kulak through a screen, Bobrovsky, and it's down to 4-3 with 5:17 to play.
All right, well, that was Ryan McLeod on the deflection. And, that is the highlight zone. And unfortunately for the Edmonton Oilers, that is as close as the Oilers got. Made it 4-3. Century Casino highlight zone, all in, all games, all season. Century Casino's 3 great locations. Edmonton, St. Albert, next to the Edmonton International Airport. At Century Mile, welcome to the winter zone. We have played 3 games in this series. The Oilers, high danger chances, all situations. Game 1 had 18. Florida had 6. Game 2, the Oilers had 1. Florida had 10. Tonight, 11-10. This is in all situations. It includes power plays and those things. So overall, the Oilers have had 30. Florida has had 26. The Oilers have not scored a goal in a high danger scoring chance the entire series. So they're saying that the 2-on-1 with Ekholm was not a high danger scoring chance, and Florida has 6 goals. And that, my friend, is the difference in this series. They've been more opportunistic, and the Oilers can't get anything by Bobrovsky when they're getting their A grades. Oilers lose 4-3. They're down 3-0 in the Stanley Cup final. This is the Rogers Postgame Show on the Oilers Radio Network.
Be a savvy Edmonton hotel shopper. Book through edmontonsbesthotels.com and receive up to $225 in cash rewards. There are over 50 member hotels to choose from, offering their best value rates. edmontonsbesthotels.com. Rewards with every booking.
Hockey fans, with a spotless reputation, Scandinavian Building Services is responsible for keeping over 70 million square feet of space clean and safe every day. With over 65 years in the industry, no cleaning challenge is too big or too small. From national retailers and commercial spaces to small offices and entertainment centers like Rogers Place, let Scandinavian take the worry off your cleaning program. Visit Scandinavian.ca to learn more. Scandinavian Building Services. Our reputation is spotless.
Going back to school can be as scary as taking the winning shot, but it doesn't have to be. Score a great future with Northern Lakes College and supported distance learning. NLC knows that students need attention, support, and the synergy between instructors and peers to keep motivated and connected. They are here to help you meet all your goals and cheer you on. Because at Northern Lakes College, they count their success one student at a time. northernlakescollege.ca.
Be a savvy Edmonton hotel shopper. Book through edmontonsbesthotels.com and receive up to $225 in cash rewards. There are over 50 member hotels to choose from, offering their best value rates. edmontonsbesthotels.com. Rewards with every booking.
You're tuned in to the Rogers Postgame Show on the official voice of the Edmonton Oilers, 630 CHED, and on the Oilers Radio Network.
And so the Oilers have tied Game 3 of the Stanley Cup Final at 1 apiece. Ekblad for Florida with a shot from just inside the blue line that Stuart Skinner makes his 13th save on.
That's the save of the game, brought to you by Access Insurance. Alberta oilfield and construction contractors can count on huge saves when they need it the most. Visit AccessInsuranceGroup.com. Bob Stauffer, Jack Michaels, Rob Brown, Cam Moon, Brendan Escott, Oilers Radio Network. And this is the Rogers Post-Game Show, Legacy Heating and Cooling broadcast booth. And we bring our order inside the game analyst, Rob Brown. Rob, it's simple. Can't be Santa Claus. Can't be sitting there handing them goals. And after the Oilers got a brilliant effort from a support player, Warren Fogle, on a breakaway goal to make it 1-1, Edmonton handed the Florida Panthers the second and third goal. It was too much to overcome tonight.
Well, yeah, there's big mistakes by the Oilers and incredible goaltending by Bobrovsky. Those are the big reasons that the Oilers right now are down 3-0 in this series. Second period, the Oilers, when they tied it up 1-1, there was about an 8-minute stretch where they had 7-8 glorious chances. All, like you and I are sitting in the press box, everything's to our left. We're just continually looking to the left. It's chance after chance after chance. And then just a soft nothing play made by the Florida Panthers, just dumping it around.
But that's a pre-scout too, right?
Well, yeah.
They know.
You want him to play the puck. There's goalies that you keep the puck away from, and there's goalies that you give the puck to, and you know which one is which. And it probably bounced on him. I haven't seen good enough video, but you've got to stop that. And then a little bit of panic set in as you try to reach. And as you're doing that, once you don't get it, now you're out of position. Nice play by the Florida Panther to win the race. And then the puck comes out to Tarasenko. He's scored, 300, 400 goals in his NHL career? He's not missing that.
All right,
it's not an easy play, but he puts it in that. So you're right. So the Edmonton Oilers make a big mistake at the wrong time, and it cost them.
And it's 2-1, and the Nurse is on his back end, and he was under duress. It was a real good stick check, basically, by Matthew Tkachuk, who's got a silky set of mitts, and he makes an unbelievable pass to Bennett, the two former Flames combined.
Well, and what a shot by Bennett, too. Yeah. I mean, I didn't know it was in. I had to watch the replay 4 times.
I knew it was in right away.
Well, I know.
Eagle eye stuff.
I know you are. But I honestly, on that one, though, I didn't understand what Nurse was doing on the play. It's a soft play on his backhand. I thought it was showing it right now, but he's coming on his backhand. He just kind of floated it. You don't do anything soft. There's no soft passes against the Florida Panthers.
No.
For 2 reasons. 1, it can get picked off. 2, if you pass a puck to someone soft, they got to wait for the puck, and then they're getting run over because the Panthers finish every check. So that was a tough play by Darnell Nurse. And again, as I know that you and Jack talked at the end of the period, a period that the Oilers badly outshot the Florida Panthers. They get outscored 3-1. And it's one of those ones you're sitting on the bench. If you're the Oilers, you're like, okay, we just had an incredible stretch here, and we're looking up at the scoreboard, and it's 4-1. How? And I think frustration comes in at that point, but big mistakes are taken advantage of by great teams. And the Florida Panthers are a great team. Bobrovsky's part of the team, and he's been sensational in this playoffs, yet when they get their opportunities, they're putting it in the net. And I think that's huge too. They're opportunistic, but they got the talent that, okay, here's my chance, I'm burying it. Barkov, breakaway, I'm burying it. And I think we also have, I've talked with Reed, a new appreciation for anyone that hasn't watched Barkov play. He is all world. He is all world.
I would say he's Leon Draisaitl's toughest matchup, and that was the matchup Florida went with, and he was tonight's first star. All right, so you played in the league.
Yep.
You played in key series. What sort of mindset do the Oilers have going into Game 4 Saturday?
Well, I can tell you it's tough because you know you're facing elimination. You know that you've thrown 2 great games at them where you played well, and it wasn't enough. It's simple right now. Win a game. Your whole goal right now, we got to get on a plane to Florida. That's all you're thinking about. You're not thinking about winning a series. You're not thinking about winning games in Florida. You're thinking, let's get back to Florida. And come here, we got 1 game on home ice. We're a good home ice team. At the very worst, this series should be 2-1 Florida. At the very worst. In the way these games have been played, with a little bit of puck luck, the Oilers could be up. But they're not. So they got to come here with the mindset, win 1 game. And they're capable of it. But they're not going to win, Bob, unless their power play scores. Yeah, it's that simple. What I just wrote down: Hyman 0 points, Leon 0 points, Nugent Hopkins 0 points,
0 for 10 on the power.
0 for 10 on the power play, and Connor just 3 assists. That is the heart of their team. That is this team was built around their power play and those players, and not through lack of effort, just probably through a little lack of execution. As they're getting their chances, they're not burying them in the Florida Panthers' best players when they've had their chances.
They have.
Yes.
All right, great stuff, Rob.
Sounds good, Bob.
Smart Play of the Night's brought to you by Catelli Smart Pasta with all natural ingredients. It's a smart meal for your next meal. Look for the box the next time you shop. I thought Broberg, he ended up being a star in tonight's game. He had a good night overall. This is the Rogers Postgame Show on the Oilers Radio Network.
Until June 8th, make the shift to more savings at Fountain Tire and get up to $200 off a set of 4 select tires, plus a bonus $50 off any service of $150 or more. Restrictions apply. Financing available. Book online today. I can tell by the look on your face you're thinking about it.
Experience the exciting casino action at 3 Century Casino locations: Edmonton, St. Albert, and next to the Edmonton Airport. Dine at one of their amazing restaurants featuring daily specials. Check out the best in live entertainment at any amazing location. Plus, you can always enjoy a great selection of casino gaming options or try your luck at off-track betting. And now you can feel the thrill of live horse racing at Century Mile Racetrack. Century Casino has it all. Come for the action, stay for the fun.
I'm Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. And I'm Zach Hyman. And when we're not making juicy, sweet passes or having my goals disallowed, we're working for Legacy Heating and Cooling. You know, guys used to call me a plumber. And now they call you an AC repairman.
Nice. Hey, guys, you're not here to fix air conditioners. You're here to sing the jingle. Oh. Well?
Okay.
Call Legacy. No payments and no interest for 1 year from qualified installers. Legacy Heating and Cooling.
Hey, Edmonton. Rogers wants you to stay connected to your Edmonton Oilers. Fantastic! Catch every goal on Canada's largest and most reliable 5G network with Rogers 5G mobile plans. To learn more, visit rogers.com/5G. That's rogers.com/5G.
Until June 8th, make the shift to more savings at Fountain Tire and get up to $200 off a set of 4 select tires, plus a bonus $50 off any service of $150 or more. Restrictions apply. Financing available. Book online today. I can tell by the look on your face you're thinking about it.
This is the Rogers Postgame Show on the Oilers Radio Network.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Rogers Postgame Show, Pizza 73 out of town scoreboard. Pizza 73 is the official pizza of the Edmonton Oilers. And, of course, bottom line here is there's no other games in the NHL tonight because these are the last two teams playing. We will tell you the Calder Cup final is set. It will be Hershey against Coachella Valley. I swear those teams have played before. Hershey is coached by former Oilers head coach Todd Nelson. This is the Rogers Postgame Show on the Oilers Radio Network.
Hey parents, do you work in downtown Edmonton? Childcare is hard to find, but at Kepler Academy, inside Sun Life Place, we still have some space for children 12 months to 6 years old. Located at 101 23 Hull Street, Kepler Academy Sun Life Place is an award-winning early learning and childcare provider, voted Edmonton's top choice for 4 years in a row. Visit KeplerAcademy.ca. Mention this ad and your registration fees will be waived.
Get ready to live sky high. Sky Signature Suites offers remarkable units for rent featuring sophisticated floor plans, designer finishes, and breathtaking views. Experience resort-like amenities including a full-time concierge, yoga and fitness studios, golf simulator, plus indoor and outdoor lounges for you to live your best life. Visit SkySignatureSuites.com and make your home high above the ordinary.
Ready to score big on your outdoor space? It's game time with Park Landscaping. Transform your backyard into a winning arena with Park Landscaping's expert team. From design to maintenance of lush lawns and state-of-the-art synthetic turf to inviting pools and captivating water features, Park Landscaping will make your outdoor space the MVP. Don't sit on the sidelines. Get in the game with Park Landscaping. Call 780-486-2744 today or email info@parklandscaping.ca.
Molson Cup 3 Stars presented by Molson Canadian, whether it's Canadian Ultra, Export, or Excel. There's a Molson with your name on it. Now, we did not pick the Stars tonight. I just want to establish that. The Oilers gave away 2 goals in this game. Stuart Skinner would tell you he's got to make a better play. Darnell Nurse would tell you he's got to make a better play. Yeah, Florida made some good plays, but, they can't hand them goals. Philip Roberg for the Oilers picked up a second goal of the playoffs. He's tonight's third star. Sam Reinhart had a goal and an assist. He's tonight's second star. And Sasha Barkov, he is tonight's first star for the Florida Panthers with a goal and an assist. Rogers postgame show is heard following each of our NHL broadcast Game 4 Stanley Cup Final 6 o'clock Saturday night Mountain Standard Time. For my play-by-play partners, Jack Michaels, Alm Camus, Rob Brown, Reed Wilkins, Brendan Escott, studio producers Kellen Kennedy at the helm tonight, and Angie Quinnell, and our ace engineer Troy Bowler. Bob Stopper saying so long from the Stanley Cup Final. Florida has built up a 3-0